it's pretty hard to turn up each week. So with the 20 goal wins and so forth, but yeah, there's a bit of work to be done.
Just to preview and mention rather the games today in the Maryborough Castlemaine as we conclude this discussion. It's the Maryborough Giants hosting the Newstead Kangaroos today. Navarre are at home to Maldon. Navarre looking for their fourth win, Maldon for their third. Talbot are up against Denali. That's a battle of fourth and fifth. The match of the round very much is between Carisbrook and Harcourt. So both sides looking for their sixth victory of the season in that first v second contest. It's Natty B. Alaba. You would have to say favourites against Lexington, but it is at the Tigers' home ground, and Trentham are hosting Campbell's Creek to round out that round 7 round in the Maryborough Castlemaine District Football League. Very shortly, we'll be back with Brett Fitzpatrick, the assistant coach of the Castlemaine Football Club, and the opening ball up of this round 6 clash between Eaglehawk and Castlemaine from the home of the Magpies, Camp Reserve. Live 25 local fresh footy.
It's not a good run into the finals though, but the other thing is Carisbrook, Talbot and Matty have all got the bye last round. Not a good run for them going into the finals. Yeah, oh, right. They've got the water boy in there because no one else wants to look
Well, it's going to be wonderful to get a couple of knocks cross clear in it.
Live 25 local fresh footy. Today's game is from Camp Reserve in Castlemaine. It's the Castlemaine Magpies hosting Eaglehawk. Radio Live 101.5 FM. Bendigo's fresh. Online streaming on our TuneIn radio app. It's delightful to have you with us this afternoon. Father Jackson, Jacko, John Hunter, Norm Jenkins, Sean Smith, Ray Pinner, our grand technician, and Glenn Gordon back in the studio, our broadcast team this afternoon, as we welcome the assistant coach of the Castlemaine Magpies, Brett Fitzpatrick. Fitzy, thanks for having
Good afternoon,
your
gents.
time this afternoon. Nice to have you with us. And look, Castlemaine, it's been a interesting start to the season so far. What have you made of it? A couple of wins, including that breakthrough victory against Golden Square in round 2. That must have been a great day for the club to break a 36-game losing streak and to win so convincingly.
Yeah, that was a good win early in the season, and at home they always help, but since then it's been a bit of a struggle. We probably haven't played up to what the expectations have been from the list that they've got this year, so hopefully there's a bit more improvement to come, but we'll work through that.
Before we came live on air, Harrison Sheehan was running around for the reserves as the runner, offering you some cheeky advice for this interview. What did he have to say, and how's his injury tracking?
Well, he jarred up a shoulder against Gisborne, so he was hopeful of missing one. To miss one more, we've then got another bye, so after all that, but yeah, he should be okay in possibly next week with his shoulder, but he's going along all right and stepped up with a bit more responsibility this year, and he'll be sorely missed today, as will a few others.
Fitzy, we were here last without dwelling negatives too much against South. Better performance last week against Gisborne, but two things I identified in that South game. I thought our fitness wasn't quite up to it. When I say us, I'll say that from the Castlemaine Life members' perspective, and I just didn't think there was cohesion with some of the better players, but obviously you would have been working on that in the last couple of weeks and saw that improvement come through last week, and potentially let's hope it happens this week as well.
Yes, I can't agree more, John. The South Bendigo game was very disappointing, and it caused a few healthy discussions in the immediate 48 hours or so afterwards amongst a few different entities at the club, which we think we've cleared the air on a few things, and obviously that started to pay some dividends against Gisborne, but some of our skill levels let us down, and we weren't able to close the gap. It was always there, those 3 or 4 goals.
Now, Brett, it's great to see today the red armbands, recognition of Dallas Keogh Franklin, and to remember him, a talent sadly lost too early. Great recognition by the Castlemaine Netball Club.
Yes, it's a very disappointing situation when it happens anywhere in life, but when it happens amongst your mates out on a playing field, and plus the general public there as well, it's a very bitter disappointment to the whole group, families, everyone involved. So the club's working towards that understanding, and the more everyone talks about it and expresses their feelings and empathy on it, the better everyone's going to be about it, because a lot of the kids playing today, both reserves and seniors, were playing with him that day, and I'm sure it leaves a bit of a deep scar with them within.
It would, but it's great to see the way the club are working at it, and that he is remembered, and as I say, it's great for the club, for the community, and for the family that he's been remembered, and well done to the Castlemaine Football Netball Club.
Yeah, I think they've done well, Norm. That's well recognised. Thank you.
And what's the key, Fitzy, against Eaglehawk today from your perspective? They're 4-1. Braden Frost in the ruck, he had 60 hit-outs last weekend. Eaglehawk are number 1 for contested possessions in the league. They're also number 1 for hardball gets, so they're really leading the way in many aspects of the competition.
Yes, absolutely. They're good-sized bodies through that midfield as well, so I think we need to get back kick, but if you've still got possession of it,
Correct.
you're coming out on top. But if you haven't got the skill sets to carry that out, you've got to change your game plan to suit your team's ability at the time.
Yeah, turnovers can really hurt you with this modern day football. So
Absolutely.
you got to, yeah.
We're speaking to Brett Fitzpatrick, the assistant coach of the Castlemaine Football Club. One final one before we let you go. The social aspect of the Camp Reserve Faithful. Tell us about that and any events that you've got coming up.
Well, there's the guys have got an iPod shuffle tonight, whatever the hell that is. It's a bit beyond my understanding of going to the bar after a game and having a beer. But the social network works fairly well, and obviously a bit of success helps others mingle in with the club as well. So it's good to see. Eaglehawk are always a strong following, so there seems to be a half-decent crowd here today. Sun's shining for a change, which hopefully winter doesn't really turn up for us. It'll be a good year. But no, things are going along all right, and the club, obviously, as I said, success will help bring that social element along a bit further.
Fitzy, appreciate your time this afternoon. Not so much Johnny's dance moves, as you mentioned, the iPod shuffle. Thankfully, this is a medium of radio, but all the best this afternoon.
Very good. Thank you very much, guys. All the best. Good calling.
Brett Fitzpatrick, the assistant coach of the Castlemaine Magpies, joining us on Live 25. Local fresh foot in the Altar Gentleman too, shaking all of our hands as he vacates and heads back to be at the dugout. And the Castlemaine Magpies are running past us as we speak. Ben McConaughey having a bit of a glance at the broadcast box from which we're calling this afternoon. There's lots of stories in this side. Obviously, Michael Hartley with those yellow boots, a star up forward. Looking forward to seeing Liam Wilkinson run out on the ground too. Callan Huntley has been a mainstayer of the Magpies over a long time as well, and has much to offer here at the football club in season 2025. Lots of recruits, obviously. Josh Eyre has come from Collingwood, and he is an important player in this side too. Today he's kicked 6 goals for the season, but as Fitzy alluded to, has been inaccurate at times in front of the big sticks this year. Sean, what did you make of Fitzy's words just then?
Yeah, well, you're pretty well spot on, really. Like, to stick with Eaglehawk, you know, they sort of got a good understanding what they have to do today to try and match it with Eaglehawk. So, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if they can go through with that and, you know, put up a good show today. I think, like, from the games I've watched with Castlemaine, and it will be very important in that centre clearance, and the way that Josh Eyre has finished off the game against South Bendigo and went in. So, look, I'm interested to see how well he plays today too.
Yeah, now, Sean, I mentioned before we did have a look at South Bendigo last 2 weeks ago, I think it was, even might have been 3 weeks ago, but they got a bit of improvement to do, Castlemaine. They were really loose through the middle, weren't they? They just let the mids do what they like.
Yeah, they did, like, and on the half back line, like, they were just having the opportunity just to lace people out without much pressure on them. So that's why, look, if I was involved with Castlemaine, I would be demanding to get something out of each individual, like if that's with pressure or, you know, for whatever it is. Like, each player has to get their hands dirty today and have some type of input. Where I found against South Bendigo, as I said, we probably didn't call about 8 or so players, Johnny, that day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, that's where the Castlemaine would look to improve. Looking at, you know what it's like. You don't have, if you're willing to put pressure on, you know, you can make it a long day for sides down at the Camp Reserve. I've seen it happen a lot of times over the years. So it is one place that has brought up a lot of upsets, and so we'll see what happens today. Like, it's a new game, a new start. Josh
Eyre, we had a bit of a look at him. He seemed tentative in the first half of that South Bendigo game, and now it's 3 weeks on. I thought he started to find some feet in that second half, so you would think now with that time period that he's been able to get through, because he's been really hampered by hamstrings in the past, that Castlemaine will need to look at a bloke like him to really step up and really grab the game by the throat and the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, well, that's you will have to do a lot of leading, and you'll be hoping that he can take 8 to 10 or 12 sort of marks. That's what he'll be looking for himself, and that's what he'll be demanding of himself. He's played footy at a high standard, so he will be working hard to get the best out of himself. You don't play at a high standard unless you really want to push yourself to work hard.
Some scores in earlier games today here at Camp Reserve. In the under-18s, a win to Castlemaine, 10-10-70 to Eaglehawk, 2-6-18. And in the reserves, another win to the Magpies, 9-7-61 to 6-12-48. So a couple of victories to the Magpies to start the day. They'd love to get the clean sweep with what I would regard as an upset victory over Eaglehawk, but it is home ground advantage. Castlemaine have improved a lot this season. They have picked up some great players this year. Josh Eyre at the top of that list in so many ways. Also Hunter Staples, Patrick Bolter, and Ronnie Fiju too. So looking forward to seeing all of them in action this afternoon. What's your assessment of what awaits us, Johnny, in this round 6 clash?
Eaglehawk, Jackson have been very impressive to mine. It'd be a very good performance for Castlemaine to win this game. They're really strong-bodied. It's probably the best Eaglehawk side that I've seen for a number of years, since probably the year that they won the flag. So the only advantage that I think Castlemaine have got is that they're playing at the Camp Reserve. Now, the toss has been run and won. I didn't actually see which way that Evans for Eaglehawk pointed. Did you, Jackson?
No, it wasn't clear, so I missed that too.
It was a little poke give, but Darby Simmons taking the toss too was interesting. Sean, he's developed himself since coming from Harcourt as well.
Yes, he has. Yeah, with Darby, he's someone who you can, he's got a good delivery with the foot. And he kicks the ball well into space. So Castlemaine, he's the type of player that Castlemaine want to get the ball in their hands to. If you get a couple of players to get it out to him, let him deliver the ball and kick it into space and let the forwards work onto it.
I'm looking at the Castlemaine lineup. Ashton Franklin, we were talking about his brother's anniversary at this time. Dallas, they're wearing the red armbands in memory of him today. Also black armbands this afternoon in memory of Adam Selwood, who sadly died a week ago. The former West Coast Eagles premiership player. We express all our condolences to the Selwood family at this time too. The Castlemaine players going into a bit of a huddle at the moment. John Watson amongst them, as is Declan Slingo. Lots of players I'm looking forward to seeing in action this afternoon. So they're at the club rooms end, just having their final exchanges, and at the scoreboard end, Eaglehawk having their final instructions. My tip in this one is Eaglehawk by 3 goals. Sean, your prediction for this afternoon?
Castlemaine have an upset, 6 points.
Well, I am a live member at the Castlemaine. I do have to go into the club rooms later, but if I say it softly, might they not hear it? But yeah, I think it'd be unfair not to have Eaglehawk as favourites this afternoon. I give Castlemaine a chance, given that they were poor down here last time at the Camp Reserve. But it's fantastic conditions. They've got some injuries, but it's not about who's not playing. It's about who is playing. So I think most of us that are either supporters or even neutral observers would like to see a good contest. But I'd say Eaglehawk will take this one out, albeit being at the camp.
And the big job today is with Norm Jenkin for the Bendigo City Framers sponsored Best on Ground Award for round 6 this afternoon. So we thank our sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, for that $100 voucher for the best player on the ground this afternoon. So we're almost set. Both sides going to their respective positions. Castlemaine searching for their 3rd victory of the year this afternoon. Eaglehawk, on the other hand, looking for victory number 5. And they were very good last week with a 36-point win over Strathfield Say. Castlemaine, meantime, looking to bounce back after a couple of losses to South Bendigo and Gisborne. To get us underway, Live 25, local fresh footy, here's John Hunter.
It'll be Bolter versus Frost in the ruck. Frost of Eaglehawk won the tap, but he tapped it straight in the direction of Staples. Staples, a fresh air kick, and he kicked it straight down the throat of Geordie Holland, who will send it now long for the 2 Blues. Shallow inside forward 50, and a strong mark's being taken by Holmes, who's playing forward, and 49 out from goal. A little bit too easy there, Sean.
Yeah, you read it a little bit better than Castlemaine's backman there. Just must have been a bit of a breeze going down that way, and it just come over the top, and a good strong mark and well read.
the Borough, kicking to the scoreboard end, which is nowadays the Galton Street end, Forest Street end, whichever one you like. Clayton Holmes from beyond 50. It'll go to the line. It won't make the distance. It's juggling on the goal line. Castlemaine need to kill it, and they eventually do for a minor score. One behind, they lead. Eaglehawk lead. Castlemaine yet to score. Only 2 minutes in opening term. Live 25, local fresh footy.
Darby Sevens to Callan Huntley with a bit of ink, who receives in the back pocket. He's got a short option from Callum McConaughey. He ignores him. I sense he's going to go longer. Down the line, in front of our broadcast position at Camp Reserve. This round 6 clash, and the Magpies retain the footy. It's in the reliable arms of Josh Eyre. He'll kick off that left boot, hugs the boundary line of his kick, and right up in front of the interchange gates, it's marked with the man in those orange boots, Jack Chester. Chester up to centre half forward, looking for John Watson. Ball fisted away from him. Eaglehawk defend well. It's about 30 metres out from their defensive goal line, and through a chain of hand passes, they do well. They go across the ground and go, and they'll work it in front of the club rooms here at Camp Reserve. So Eaglehawk still inside their defensive zone. Thompson just waits and ponders and sees what he can do. He kicks long up towards centre wing. Outer side, pack develops, whole clamour of bodies go after it, and Eaglehawk's Blake McGregor put his body on the line.
Yeah, but it was intercepted by the main. They'll get a free kick here for in the back. It's footy is with Campbell McLennan. He'll play on from right half back. He'll now send it long down the wing. Up they'll get in the ruck. Hartley for the marking contest. Hartley was the intended target, but turnover, and Eaglehawk will now go forward across half forward. Juggling attempted it was Simmons. Out of the pack, a nice little give by McGregor. He's got a player out in Hoare. He's at 50. Good strong tackling there by Hickey of the Magpies. Byrne picks it up for the Magpies. He fumbles. 55 out now for Eaglehawk there. Pressing here, a short, ugly little underground ball, looking for O'Shanassy. Good hard hit of the footy, but McLennan, he's grabbed by the Magpies, tackled and collared, and umpires letting it go here. Still 40 out from goal, working it nicely. Jack Thompson on the end of a handball. They can't get out the Borough, and in fact, if they got a free kick, I reckon they might right on the boundary line.
They have. It's Jack Thompson, Johnny, that's got the footy.
Jack Thompson's going to have a kick at goal. He's on a pretty tight angle where he is. He'll have to pay for admission to get back in. Oh, poor checking. Clayton Holmes was out. Then he plays on. Castlemaine weren't awake for it. He goes around the body and slots it for the first one of the afternoon, which takes Eaglehawk to 1-1-7. They lead Castlemaine yet to score. Score sponsor. Don Smallgoods is good. Live 25, local fresh footy.
What did you make of that, Sean?
It was a nice bit of play, good pass, and then good smart option just to play on and kick the goal. But just observing with Castlemaine, we've had 2 contests in the air. Josh Eyre took a good mark out on the wing here, but Michael Hartley was going up with him, and on the other side of the ground, they need to separate to give themselves 2 different options.
Back in the middle will be Frost against Bolter, and Bolter got that tap out into the path of Hunter Staples, who got boot to ball out to the wing. William Moran gets it on the first bounce, pirouettes in and out of traffic, kicks it to the half-forward line. Pack develops, and a spoil, but a hold there against Aidan Hanley. So free kick to the Magpies, and it will have to be taken across half-forward. So it's about 55 metres out from goal. And Jenkins has got the footy.
Grease.
Yep. Thank you. Inside 50 with the kick. And that's a very good mark that's been taken. Diving across the grass, and that is Reece Jenkins now with the footy. Josh Eyre, in fact.
Josh Eyre. He's had a great start. He's had a great start to the game.
With those blue boots. So he's on the far forward flank, opposite side of the ground from which we're broadcasting. He'll kick off the left. Goal umpire hardly moved. How good was that? Straight through the middle. Castlemaine with their first major. 1 straight 6. Eaglehawk 1-1-7. 5 minutes tick by in this opening term. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder. Live 25, local fresh footy. And Sean, that is Josh Eyre's 7th goal of the season.
Yes, good lead. 2 good leads and 2 strong marks at the moment with Josh Eyre. So, and a lovely finish here, and it's game on.
Good start by the Magpies to get that one on the board. You're trying your hardest to give it to Reece Jenkins there, Jacko. Is he related or something? It was punched forward now by the big ruckman who did well in Frost, across half forward. Out with a footy will be Nick Hall. He picks up the ball. Good pressure by Brodie Byrne. Pushes him towards the boundary line. Hall keeps it alive. Handballs it. Turnover to Moran. Moran and hurry kick. Looks there for Watson. Getting support there was Chester at half back for Castlemaine, diving in after the footy. In fact, it might have been Hunter Staples. It was. It's still alive, the footy. Good work it was. And just treading water, and eventually we've got a stoppage and a ball up. On right half forward, Eaglehawk in attack.
Frost and Bolter. Bolter again with the tap out. He's got the early ascendancy there. Hunter Staples has been gutsy so far. He's tackled. And we'll have a ball up 60 metres away from Eaglehawk's goal. Taken out of the ruck contest by Bolter, by hand to Cullen Huntley. He hits the ground running. He sends it up toward half forward. Josh Eyre had it. He lost it, then he got it back. And he advances forward. Kick inside 50. Wonderful intercepting grab has been taken by Aidan Hanley at full back for the Borough.
Gives it to Ango. Short pass across the back zone. O'Shannessy looks like he's pushed right up. No, in fact, the man with the footy was Mullen. Mullen now deep in his back pocket. Mullen short pass forward. It's okay, hits Jack Thompson. Thompson marks it on the chest. Short pass forward again to Billy Evans. Working it nicely, the two Blues. Cross half back, here at the camp reserve. A little bit of a breeze. You can hear it in the effects mic. Short pass forward, 12 metres to Donat. He'll handball forward. He's got a running Evans. Evans just slips a little bit of a tackle, then gives it to Hoare. Hoare across half back, but turnover. Kicks it straight to the opposition in Watson. Watson of the Magpies on the left. He'll sit it up they'll fly. Deep in attack, Magpies. They'll all dive in up top of the footy. Curtis McLennan on the bottom of the pack, who comes into the side this afternoon. Ball up 15 metres out from Castlemaine goal.
Eaglehawk by 1 point, almost 8 minutes gone, opening term. Ball thrown up, Frost knocks it down in the direction of the Borough's Thomas Bennett. He works it to the boundary line, but it's intercepted by Callum McConaughey. He kicks towards goal. It's across the face, opposite left forward pocket, and ball goes out of bounds. We'll have it thrown back in, but still a good result. Sean, Castlemaine with the footy in that front 50 the last minute or so.
Yeah, they're pressing hard, and Staples had a good start at Castlemaine. It's what they've been missing. He's in and under, and he's getting nice and dirty and making a real contest.
Ball to be tossed back in from the boundary throw in. Frost couldn't get hands to it that time. On hands and knees, Hartley, the coach, couldn't get clean possession out, and another stoppage the result.
It's Gisborne by a goal at the QEO against Sandhurst, early days in the opening term. Here at the Camp Reserve, we've got a close game. It's a 1 point margin. Eaglehawk lead. They've got possession of the football now in the back half. Up to the wing. Clayton Holmes jumped high, jumped early. The ball, it's in dispute. Franklin Keogh did well. Getting involved there was Jenkins. Jenkins gives it to Greaves. Greaves into the middle to Slingo. Slingo of the Magpies. They're going from one wing to the other to Sutherland. Sutherland feigns. Then he runs. He should have a bounce but doesn't. Short pass and across half forward. Geez, it was a good ball to Watson, but Watson just couldn't quite get to it in time. Turnover. Goes there for the two Blues. Donat. He runs a long way. They've got the numbers. Running shotgun there for the two Blues. It was Marsh. Marsh now on left half forward and look to slow things down.
He does, and you can sense it in the tempo of the Borough side. Clayton Holmes had 2 against him. Ball missed all and went through for a behind. 1-2-8 Eaglehawk. Castlemaine 1 straight 6. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals. Live 25 local fresh footy. We've gone 9.5 minutes in this opening term.
So Castlemaine will bring it in now through McConaughey. Cal McConaughey will kick it long beyond defensive 50.
He will indeed, and he goes very short to William Moran, who's got it on the outer side with those flamboyant green boots. A very colourful Castlemaine side as far as their footwear is concerned today. Callum McConaughey's kick was a shocker, and in fact he's put it out of bounds on the full, so the free kick will be taken by Mitchell Roncherry for the Borough. And he fancies himself to have a crack at this. A very acute angle, opens it up off the left, and could not have done it any better. You can hear the celebration from the Borough faithful as the car horns toot around Camp Reserve. 2-2-14 Eaglehawk. Castlemaine 1 straight 6. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy.
For all the hard work Castlemaine have done, like that's, you just really can't afford a couple of bad kicks across the goal there and then one out in the full. You just can't afford to do that. It just deflates the side. The pressure's been good, just a couple of tackles getting missed. Eaglehawk worked hard from the back line to run the ball up towards their forward line, and their pressure has been great as well. So both sides in it, but just Castlemaine can't afford those misses.
Kangaroo Flat at Dow Park up by 5 points against the Storm, and also Golden Square out at Wade Street Trail by a point to the Blood, South Bendigo. So close margins, early days around Bendigo footy as Frost in the ruck got muscled out of it by Bolter. In fact, Bolter offended and Frost of Eaglehawk got one for too high. Now Frost, he's a good kick, he's an awkward looking left, but it's a penetrating ball. It didn't quite look. Give him a rap. Byrne dropped a mark he should have taken there for the Magpies. Jenkin at the bottom of the pack shovels it out, but Buderick now for Eaglehawk. He caused a turnover. Contested ball 50 metres out. A little bit of volleyball. That should have been a throw, I reckon, there by Evans. Umpire didn't agree. Getting involved, Darby Salmons, and might get a free kick at the bottom of the pack. In fact, it's Reece Jenkins with the footy. Put on a couple of kegs since I saw him last time play at the Camp Reserve, I must say. I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Jenkins' kick, well, it was ill-directed for the intended target, Liam Wilkinson. Set him an awful assignment. Ronald Fijo got it. Back to Wilkinson. High hospital kick. Hung a long time in the air. In front of our broadcast position, ball hits the deck in front of Geordie Holland, who assists it to the boundary line and will have it thrown back in. Live 25, local fresh footy. 12 gone, first term. It's Eaglehawk 2-2-14 over the Magpies. One straight 6.
If you're playing along at home, Tyson Hickey, number 6, add him to your sheets at home for Castlemaine. He's in the side as Jenkins gets his hand on the footy and dives in after it. He's a bigger body nowadays, did well. Brodie Byrne received a handball. Then he might have coughed it up. It was a little bit of a nervous give and might have been a little bit fortunate for a ball up there, Sean, I reckon.
Oh, I thought he attempted to get rid of it, but yeah, I thought that was clear cut to be a ball up.
25 out from the Borough's goal. Great smother by Clayton Holmes applied, and he follows up. He put his body over it, but was pushed to ground, and the ball ricocheted out of bounds in front of Castlemaine's Campbell McLennan. So Patrick Bolter, I should say, to renew acquaintances with Clayton Holmes, as we heard Travis Matheson say in our pre-game. The two co-coaches, he said that his co-coach would give Braden Frost a chop out from time to time in the ruck. We see that now. Bolter, though, gets the tap out straight in the direction of Tyson Hickey, round his body to Brodie Byrne, who looked to clear for the Maggies.
Started off well, Brodie Byrne, that old chestnut. There's $1 into the tin there, Jacko. The donation tin for your church up in Bendigo. Father Jackson Saunders joining us this afternoon as the ball is now with Eaglehawk. It's on a half forward, a long kick forward. Holmes, what a pass! Hit him on the chest. Holmes could do nothing else but mark it only 15 metres around from goal. And silver surface delivery. And Castlemaine need to be awake with him going around the body, because that's exactly what he did do, and he slotted it. I reckon they got caught napping again, the Pies. 3-2-20 to 1 goal straight 6 score. Sponsor Parsons Towing, Live 25, local fresh footy. Did I call that right then, Sean Smith?
Yeah, that left foot was just an amazing pass down to the ground to Holmes there, and his both goals have been good leads but good passes, and yeah, as you say, Castlemaine have got to be aware he looks to play on. He may be nervous with a set shot, so they've got to get to him.
The thoughts of Sean Smith, Live 25, local fresh footy. Beautiful day on the cusp of winter. It's a late autumn day. Majestic entry into Castlemaine today, past the Botanical Gardens to Camp Reserve, where the ball is thrown aloft. Bolter knocks it down straight to Castlemaine's Darby Salmons. Kick up to the left half forward, searching for a Ben McConaughey. He's beaten though across half back by Jack Donut. Kick hung a long time in the air, but it was effective and found Geordie Holland, who looked to go up the guts. The short foot pass is good. He goes back to Donut, who hits the ground running and clears to the wing.
And there's a whistle on play. There might have been an upender off the footy, and it was, so it'll be downfield.
I believe, Johnny, it was Geordie Holland that was pushed to the ground for the Borough, hence the downfield free.
Eaglehawk will go inside forward 50 now. Poor kick. Liam Wilkinson, Magpies, will mop up with a nice mark. In fact, he was uncontested. Short pass laterally to Semmons. Semmons, the coach of Castlemaine Reserves this season. Good, tough, smaller player. Pound for pound, he's probably one of the toughest players in the league, and I'm not exaggerating about that. As he spins the footy in his fingers and then goes long. Braden Frost flew high, got her hands on the footy, but there might be a free kick, and there might have been a shepherd off the footy. And I reckon Eaglehawk have got a free kick. They have. So another opportunity to go forward. Shallow inside forward 50 they go. Evans ran at the footy uncontested, hit him on the chest, and 49 from home will have a shot at goal.
There was also a great play by two Eaglehawk forwards. They led up to create that space for Evans to run onto. Without that, if they stood in the hole, he would not have marked that footy.
Magpies back half under pressure, Sean, as Evans will cross the paint of 50 to the scoreboard end. Nice spinning ball. I reckon he's slotted it. He has, and Eaglehawk looking impressive at the moment. They go to 4-2-26. Castlemaine labouring a little bit now. 1 goal straight 6. We're halfway through this opening term. Score sponsor Aussie Disposal, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Yeah, Castlemaine's just got to stick with it. Just when Castlemaine have the possession of the ball in the back line, there's too many players stagnant. You've got to be moving around to create a bit of space for someone behind you so they can run on to get that pass for that next kick.
They've kicked 3 goals in 6 minutes. Have Eaglehawk concerns for Michael Hartley and the Castlemaine coaching staff. In the centre, Budrick just gave the dust to Martin. Don't argue, as he got the contested footy cleared out of the centre. Sent it to half forward. Evans by hand. McGregor back to Evans. Foot pass centrally. Unselfishly dropped by Jack Thompson, but recovers, and Eaglehawk nail yet another. They go to 5 goals, 2-32. With that Jack Thompson goal, Castlemaine 1 straight 17 minutes elapsed. Opening term, score sponsor, Parsons Towing, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Don't mean to be too hard, but like he was in that area all by himself. I'm not sure if he was on baller, but it looks like he's gone back to a half forward flanker. His man should not leave him 30 metres out on his own.
Sutherland will go into the ruck for the Magpies. Cal Huntley also inside there, needs to get his hands on the footy. Frost having an influence here and probably wins the tap on that occasion. Trying to make a path for the two Blues was Hoare. He's had hands on the footy, but it's all now with Eaglehawk. Bennett, little handball over the top, causes a contest. Sutherland did well. Underground handball in the direction of Huntley. Huntley looked for a free kick for too high. Umpire said you bent at the knees, which I'm not sure he did, but umpires are always right. As Frost in the ruck against Sutherland. Running onto the footy, Ben Thompson for Eaglehawk. Whistle, free kick, Magpies, goes to Cal McConaughey.
So Cal McConaughey with the footy goes down the line to centre half forward. Great defensive sport by Jack Donat. He's been impressive so far in this term. Now it comes to Josh Eyre. He dances around 1, a second, tries to get past a third, does so successfully. Zachary Greaves has it. He kicks it gold. Marcus Angove intercepts though on the last line of defence, and he had support through Charlie Langford. Do they clear? Perhaps, perhaps not. Tackle, free kick. It goes across half back, and it's Geordie Holland who's got it for the Borough, so they do manage to stand tall under enormous pressure.
Actually, it might be McGregor. McGregor short pass to Bennett. He's got the tats on the legs there, unless they both have, as they work it across half back. Donat getting a lot of the footy as well. Eaglehawk springboarding off half board, and they'll do it half back. They'll do it again. Long ball to the outer side wing. It's 2-on-1 contest. Picking it up nicely, one-handed was Marsh. Marsh will go looking for Evans. One-handed ball almost, I reckon, by Byrne. Brodie Byrne of the Magpies did well. Short pass forward finds Wilkinson of the Magpies, and they'll steady.
Put that Brodie Byrne mark on the highlight reel. That was stellar to observe. Wilkinson in the back pocket. You can hear through our effects mic lots of directions from on field. Wilkinson goes with a penetrating ball, but out of bounds on the full. He was wanting to find Jack Sutherland. It was wide of him, so Ethan Hanley will take the footy across left half forward. Lots of autumn leaves falling. There's an eternity of them at the moment, crashing down to earth as Jack Thompson kicks off the right boot. Well, that's an interesting kick to describe. It went about 60 metres. It was a real shank. I thought it was going to go all the way at one stage, but it was just the minor score. So another blemish, 5-3-33 the Borough. Castlemaine 1 straight 6, live 25, local fresh footy.
Hartley for the restart from fullback for Castlemaine. I don't know if it come off a fist then or not, but he must have played on from fullback, so it's out of bounds with no penalty. It'll be a ball in. I might sense, Sean, that there's a bit of a breeze, a wind going to the end that Eaglehawk are kicking to, so that might be an advantage.
Oh, for sure, there's a good breeze there. Castlemaine are finding it hard to get it out of their back line, but, you know, with that wind and all, so...
Frost, front position, grabbed it for Eaglehawk, banged it on the boot, awkward looking ball. Wilkinson will have to go for Castlemaine. He did. Thompson went well for Eaglehawk as well. Tough play. 15 metres out from home for Eaglehawk. They attack, they lead 33-6. Castlemaine labouring, we've gone 21 minutes opening term.
And Clayton Holmes flew very high, no clear tap out to the advantage of the Hawks though. It spills toward the left forward pocket, 35 metres out from goal, awfully close to the boundary line, and the field umpire says give it to me. We'll have a ball up. All players in Eaglehawk's front half of the ground. No one inside. Castlemaine's attacking 50. Holmes taps it down. Hunter Staples soccers it off the ground about 50 metres up towards the centre square, but it's intercepted by Aidan Hanley. Had support from Ethan Hanley. Now to Billy Evans. 2 kicks out from goal. Inside 50. Fisted away from Liam Wilkinson, but he in fact was pushed in the back, so we'll take the free kick. A gutsy effort.
Lateral it is Simmons. And good luck to Norm Jenkin this afternoon. He is picking our Bendigo City Framers $100 award sponsor for best players, and I reckon he's got about 18 Eaglehawk players in the gun at the moment. They're firing the two Blues as the ball is up on the wing now. Castlemaine through Franklin Keogh. He handballs forward. Their whistle on play as the ball's, in fact, might have been the netball.
Not sure.
Umpire let the play go on. So I didn't dream it, Sean, that's for sure, as the ball comes inboard now for Mullen, for Eaglehawk. Good kick, hits up Jack O'Shaughnessy, dropped a mark he shouldn't have taken. It was good pressure by McLennan. McLennan got support by Moran. Moran retreats, handball back to Greaves. Greaves, a neat little kick to Slingo. Slingo, the Magpies, keeps his feet, then just at the last moment tries to handball to McLennan. Couldn't get to him. Boundary line wins. Jingle Street wing. Half forward, Castlemaine in attack, will have a ball in.
Ball's tossed back in. Frost in front position. Bolter out-muscled him beautifully, but legally got used to the footy. But then Billy Evans intercepted, gave it off to Frost, who gave it back to his opposite ruckman in Bolter. Not the desirable outcome. Zachary Greaves for the Magpies up to centre half forward. Marcus Angove leads the chase. Ashton Franklin there too. It's a one-on-one duel. Neither gets clean use of the footy. They could have raffled it, and then the umpire said, give it to me. Another ball up on the paint of 50 for the Magpies.
Boy, oh boy, Father Jackson, you've got some wind there through the effect mics as the conditions have certainly toughened up. Castlemaine in the forward zone now. No clear possession. Jack Chester tried to make a path and couldn't. And eventually we'll have a stoppage and a ball up. Umpire balls up. Bolter doing the ruck work now for Castlemaine. Greaves just flung his head back. Bolter, little one under the ground to Air. Air, handball over the top to Cal McConaughey. Hurried kick on the right foot, which is his wrong foot, and goes through for a minor score. That's pretty good, isn't it? You like that one, Sean? As it's now 33 playing 7, Castlemaine trail.
John Hunter, the wordsmith, live 25, local fresh footy. Charlie Langford with the kick in. Finds Jack O'Shaughnessy, kicked 3 goals last week with his 17 touches against Strathfield Say in the two Blues 36-point victory. He kicks inside, does Jack O'Shaughnessy to centre half back, and they work it out, the two Blues looking for Frost. Ball will spill to the back of the pack. Jack Thompson assists with a Shepherd inside 50 with the kick. Clayton Holmes caught behind, but follows up with a strong tackle, and we'll have a ball up. The scoreboard reads Eaglehawk 5-3-33, Castlemaine 1-1-7, 25 gone, opening term.
The Hawks looking impressive here at Camp Reserve. Bolter in the ruck again. He was against Clayton Holmes. Evans of Eaglehawk tried to make a path. Castlemaine will need to tie it up, and they do. There was a good bit of work there by Jack Sutherland, who's battling hard for the Magpies. Up they go again. Hurried kick out of the pack by Staples of the Magpies. Sends it to the wing, but it's a turnover. Ends up with the big ruckman in Frost. Frost on the left. O'Shannessy jumped at the footy, contested. Umpire said, I didn't have any theatre. I reckon that was a mark. He claimed that it come off hands, but usually they pay them, Sean Smith, and he didn't, and it's now a stoppage and a ball up.
They usually do play him, but I thought Liam did get his hands on it first, so...
Well, we'll back you there. I agreed with Johnny, though, Sean, I must admit. Bolter took it out of the ruck and barreled it about 60 metres into the centre square, but straight to his opposite ruckman in Frost, who goes to Langford. Hand pass was hesitant, but somehow he got away with it because Sam Thompson retrieved the loose ball inside 50. Ben Thompson steals, he snaps, and he goals. Just to paint the picture a bit more, he had 2 against him. He weaved himself out of traffic and got the Boroughs 6-3-39 to Castlemaine. 1-1-7, 26 minutes gone. Opening term, score sponsor Don Small Goods. Is Don, is good. Live 25, local fresh footy.
Castlemaine playing with a few players behind the ball, but they're getting the ball out, and it's just repeat entries back in from Eaglehawk. They're just going to score at some stage. Castlemaine need to work something out.
Frost having some influence in the middle. I'm not trying to influence Norm Jenkin early days with this Bendigo City Framer Sponsor Award, but boy, oh boy, they need to do something about him. And in the middle was Greaves with the big body, tried to bustle it through for the Magpies, and it somehow ended up on half back. Such was the tackling effort of the Borough. The Borough through the big ruckman again, Frost. He's been very good, but Castlemaine caused a turnover. Went to Wilkinson. Wilkinson, poor kick. That ended up with Bolger. Bolger now of Eaglehawk kicks it, and then roving the ball. It was Holmes front and centre, come off hands. Hartley looks at the sky and says, oh no, of course a turnover, and it is a goal there to Eaglehawk. They go to 7-3-45. They lead Castlemaine 1-1-7, 27 minutes gone. Opening term score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder, Live 25, local fresh footy.
That started with another turnover from Castlemaine, then a repeat entry and another spilt mark. So, you know, we've just got to make sure they just butter up in those areas and make sure they get them right. Eaglehawk are making most of the breeze, like there is a bit of a breeze there, so they certainly are making the most of it.
That's his 3rd goal, Clayton Holmes. They have not goaled the Magpies since Josh Eyre did so at the 5-minute mark of this term. That is almost 23 minutes ago. Back in the centre, Frost knocks it down. Hunter Staples gets first use. Cal Huntley had a fumble. Ball ricochets out to the wing for the Magpies. Railway side, it comes to Darby Simmons. He dances around a would-be tackler from half back into the centre circle. No good though. Chopped off. Thompson. He goes up to half forward. Jack O'Shannessy, the intended target. Got it. Then picked it up at ground level. Kicks inside 50. Clayton Holmes, the man of the moment, and is looking for his 4th goal. He's dominating this opening term. He opens the angle and snaps it around his body and goes bingo, and he's got his 4th. Eaglehawk starring so far. That is their 8th goal, 8-3-51. Castlemaine 1-1-7 in the 29th minute. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder. Here's Sean Smith on Live 25, local fresh footy.
Yeah, but unfortunately, again, it was another turnover with the Castlemaine kick and just gave Eaglehawk the opportunity. And then on the flip side, that was a beautiful kick into Clayton Holmes into a bit of space. And he just ran around again without anyone being aware that let's get over and put a bit of pressure on him. But, okay, we'll start again here and see if Castlemaine can get a clearance and try and make something of this of today.
Holmes has played on 4 times from full back. You reckon they'll wake up to it pretty soon, the backman for Castlemaine?
Well, I'm not sure if they will, Johnny.
Well, they're slow learners.
Perhaps they think they're in Italy, the Roman siesta.
If an old hack like me can see it, surely everybody else can. Frost won the tap for the 2 Blues as the umpire, as he blew the whistle, fell over in the middle of the camp reserve. Looked like he was shot, the poor young fella. Now he'll throw it up. He wanted to get out of there. Frost wins the tap again. They're just moving it nicely through the centre. Ango hands on footy. He gave a little handball over the top. It was a hurried kick. The kick came inboard now for McGregor. Steps over the boundary line. The initial kick came in from Ty Evans. And across half back, Brody Byrne with a footy for the Magpies. Byrne now long down the line. Centre wing. Eyre is the target. Hands on footy. Good strong contested mark.
He's got it for the Magpies. Wastes no time. Down the line. Here's a great chance and a good mark. Taken to by Zachary Greaves. who's got it in other games. It's South Bendigo leading by 31 points against Golden Square. Strathfield saved by 10 points over Kangaroo Flat. There will be a kick after the siren here from Zachary Greaves. He's looking for his 5th goal of the season. Gisborne at the QEO also leading by 14 points against Sandhurst. Zachary Greaves, a much needed goal for the Magpies, perhaps coming up after the siren off the right boot. It is across the face. In fact, it's out of bounds on the full. It's hit the right point post. No score added at quarter time. Castlemaine 1-1-7. They trail Eaglehawk 8-3-51. The second quarter coming up very shortly. Live 25, local fresh footy.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Keyser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Keyser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Keyser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
It's the Bendigo Football Netball League top 5 for round 5. Let's kick things off with a nice hanger. Let's look for Zach Shelton here from Golden Square. He's up and away. Number 2, Michael Romero from Strathfield Say at the back of the pack, falls in his lap. How about that? Number 3, Sam Heaviside here. Got it out the pack and went with the left foot snap. Gets the kind bounce and it goes through. Number 4, the coach's dream, the front and centre goal. Clayton Holmes from Eaglehawk, just sitting at the front of the pack. The big snap. Oh yes, good finish. Number 5, another example of a great front and centre. Tommy Turner, Golden Square, mops it up, says thank you very much.
Holmes, Budrick died out in the second half of that quarter. Cross, Ben Thompson, and Donnet came back.
Thanks, Glenn. Mate, we'll at half time we'll come straight out again, similar to quarter time, so that'll give us plenty of time when we come back. Also at the end of the game, Jackson tells me he's going to aim for 8 minutes past 5 and 30 seconds. Let's see how good he is, all right? But it'll be somewhere between that 7 past and 10 past 5 at the very latest, mate. Thank you for your work in there. I hope you're enjoying the call. Send me a message if the sound or if there's anything distorting or anything like that, and I'll fix it up. But the only thing I can't fix is this wind.
It's quarter time at Camp Reserve, round 6 clash in the Bendigo Football League, and Eaglehawk lead 8-3-51 over Castlemaine 1-1-7. Eaglehawk led by Clayton Holmes up forward with 4 goals, 1 each to Billy Evans, Mitchell Roncherry, Jack Thompson and Ben Thompson. For Castlemaine, their solo goal kicker so far is Josh Eyre. Better players will start with Eaglehawk with John Hunter.
Probably an easy task for me, Father Jackson, but when I say easy, I'll just go down the list and Most of them have really contributed. None better than one would argue than Billy Evans, Braden Frost, Clayton Holmes. Those three are just sharing the footy like you would not believe. Also at the next level, in comes Nick Hoare, the Thompson boys, Jack Donut, halfback Jack O'Shaughnessy at times, and you could probably put a tick across most of the Eaglehawk borough who really dominated in that first term.
With the Castlemaine players, under immense pressure, I thought Brody Byrne and Liam Wilkins stood up a few times and played well down back. Joshua Egg, giving Castlemaine a bit of a target. It'd be nice to see them to get the ball to him a little bit more. Hunter Staples early was around the contest, in and under, was pretty good. And Darby Sevens just racking up a few touches, just probably let himself down a few times with disposals, but that's about all I can give.
Castlemaine, a bit of work to do here at Camp Reserve. Impressive Eaglehawk with a lead in this opening term. They are 8-3-51. Castlemaine Magpies are 1-1-7. Live 25 local fresh footy in this round 6 game at Camp Reserve. For all the second quarter action, here is Father Jackson Saunders.
Great to be with you, Johnny, and the breeze is picking up as we commence this second term. Autumn leaves flying everywhere here at Camp Reserve. Bolter to fly high in the ruck contest. He didn't need to though. He just stood where he was and took it out of the ruck and got the clearance. Boot the ball to centre half forward. Only as far though Zach Bolger, who helps to intercept across half back for Eaglehawk and guided out of bounds. Wasn't deliberate according to the field umpire. So we'll have it thrown back in, right in front of our beautiful broadcast position here at the moment. Very windy conditions. Some good news too for the Sandhurst Football Club today, because Harry O'Farrell makes his debut for Carlton in the AFL. The Halpin and O'Farrell families. Kath O'Farrell telling me they had about 100 tickets that they were coordinating. Lots of excitement there for the debutant O'Farrell, a famous Sandhurst name. Eaglehawk will work it out of the defensive zone. Sam Thompson, then to Jack Donut. He goes to the back pocket. They work it to Ty Evans, who aids it to the boundary line once more. Boundary throwing, Railway's side. We've gone a minute in this second term. Eaglehawk lead, 51 to Castlemaine 7.
To give you an idea of the wind here, when the boundary umpire throws it in, it moves a fair way from the north to south to the end that Castlemaine are kicking to the scoreboard end. And there's a lot of leaves coming off the trees along the railway side, and they are basically coming off horizontally at times. So Castlemaine have the wind in this quarter as it goes inside forward 50. Castlemaine will not capitalise. There was a hold off the ball, and it'll go to Eaglehawk. It will be Langford with the footy. Short pass laterally from one back pocket to another. Spots up his teammate in Evans. Evans will go outside 50. Picking it up nice, it was Frost, the big ruckman. Handball goes to Sam Thompson. They're just being a little bit messy here. They'll cause a turnover. Eaglehawk ends up with Will Moran. Will Moran will put it in the path of Jenkins. Jenkins was clever, tapped the ball to himself, then he kicked it and didn't really look. He kicked it to the opposition of Evans. Evans dropped a mark he should have taken. Handball forward, under pressure. Bennett dropped the ball and let it go. Umpire let it go. It was good work. Fajo Jr. for Castlemaine. Handballs to Watson. Watson of the Magpies. Kick is smothered. Eaglehawk will rebound out of half-back and get out of jail.
Or will they? Have they put it out of bounds on the full centimetre perfect if Dennis Cometti was here, out of bounds. And there's a wind northerly 28 kilometres, gusting to 41 kilometres according to Norm Jenkin. Extraordinary.
Thanks, Jane Bunn, over there in the corner.
It is appreciated. A score 2 in the Heathcote District Footy League. North Bendigo 2 goals 5. Lead Colburn Abbott 1 goal 5 at the end of the first term. The Magpies with the kick inside 50, not for long. Sam Thompson intercepts across half back, looking for Frost across the defensive side of centre wing. Ball hits the deck. Free kick though for a high tackle picked out, and it will go the way of Eaglehawk, and it's Thompson who was caught high there. So Jack Thompson for the two Blues on the Railway side wing.
You'll send it down the line, the Frank Byrne wing, and flying high there was Wilkinson of the Magpies. Hands and knees, Will Moran. He's been good this afternoon, as has this man Wilkinson, who grabbed the footy again. But we've got a stoppage on true centre wing, and the umpire will ball it up.
Great man Frank Byrne. Have enjoyed his company on a number of occasions at social gatherings. Kick forward for the Magpies from John Watson, up towards centre wing, but it's been chopped off by the Borough once more. Langford helps to get it up towards centre half forward, searching for Blake McGregor. Ball eludes him across half back. Watson towards the centre of the ground, and it's on the broadcast side wing as they look to cut it across the ground here, the Magpies, and it's Fejo who's got it for the Maggies.
Fejo Jr. they call him there, Jacko, as well. As he feigns and then might have got one too high. You know what? I reckon he bent his knees at the wrong time. Nowadays, you don't usually pay them, but he's got the free kick. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's an ugly spinning ball inside forward 50. Turnover to Langford. Got the old 1-2 back from Nick Hoare getting involved. And short pass outside 50. Two Blues. Good contested strong mark by Thompson. Thompson gets up and plays on. Long ball down the wing. Frost is his target. Hands on footy. They're trying to make a path and couldn't, was Cal McConaughey. Slingo, quick hands, gives it to McConaughey. Magpies will go forward, but it's 3-on-1. Tracking the footy will be Langford. Langford, handball over the top. It was cute. They'll get out of jail here, and they're away through Ty Evans.
They are at full back, the two Blues, and the kick is good for Zach Bolger, who plays on. Elects to go to half back. Good pass to Ethan Hanley. A short ball. Finds Blake McGregor, but made him work overtime, and he was tackled, caught high. A Loddon Valley Football League score. Morong 5-8-38, lead Maiden Galley, YCW 139, and Mount Pleasant 5-2-32 over White Hills 117 in the Heathcote District Footy League. Through the centre, Thomas Bennett, foot pass, superb. Joel Mallon back to Billy Evans, takes on one, takes on a second, look away, hand pass to half forward. Kick inside 50, chopped off. Cal Huntley has it for the Magpies at centre half back.
Been quiet, Cal Huntley, so far in this game. He needs to get his hands on the footy if they're going to be competitive. He's one of those players, he's a bit of a gauge, and he goes wide and finds Reece Jenkins. Jenkins, an old campaigner from a few years ago now, Jackson, back in the black and white. He provides a bigger body for the Magpies. It's a 65-metre ball with the wind. I'm not sure he knew how far it was going to go himself. Hence the distance. Ends up with Evans. Evans, it was a turnover for Eaglehawk on right half back. Umpire asks him to play on and move the footy forward. He does. Down the line. Might have been a push by Reece Jenkins. He was clever, gave it away. Now for the Magpies, he'll go forward again. Tracking the footy was John Watson. Keeps it alive. Picks it up on the left. Banged it on the boot a little quickly. He didn't realise how much time he had. Sitting nicely there for Eaglehawk will be Hanley. Hanley's short pass and go.
Of the Ethan variety to Marcus Angover, as you say there, Johnny. Still inside the defensive 50. Only 20 metres out from that defensive goal line. So they go short. Still on the last line of defence, and Thompson with the football. So he goes to half-back, Langford I should say. Now that's Ben Thompson who's got it across half-back. So they've just hit pause, it seems, here a bit as they ponder various options. Donut dropped the sitter. He should have taken. Kick returns inside 50 for the Magpies, looking for Ben McConaughey. And the ball off hands, out of bounds, left forward pocket. It's the Magpies 7. They trail Eaglehawk 51. 7 minutes gone, second term.
Quarter time North Central, Wedderburn 28 points up over Donald. St Arded trail Calder United by 8 points, and Bort 31 lead Birchip Watcham 2 behinds. Quarter time in the North Central. Back here at the Camp Reserve, 7 playing 51. Castlemaine trail. They have it in their forward zone. Running on the footy at 50 was Reece Jenkins. He stubbed the ground, I reckon, as he kicked it, and so strong as the wind, it went 50 and went out of bounds, bounced over across the point post. And was that an or for hurt sore, Sean, or as in oh dear?
Oh, just a great opportunity, but as you said, he stubbed his toe on the ground. I do know what happens there occasionally. Eaglehawk's back line's been very strong here, but just not much method by Castlemaine going forward. It's a bit of a shame. They've had a few opportunities.
Frost beaten in the ruck contest by Hartley. Hits the deck. Ben Thompson defends well. Quick boot to ball hurriedly out of the defensive zone. Reece Jenkins steals it. He'll look to repel and send it back inside 50 for the Magpies at Newbridge. It is Bridgewater 8-1, leading Newbridge 2-3. So the Mean Machine leading by about 6 goals in that contest at Riverside Park.
Sean Smith's calling this as a goal from 55 metres. Let's see how it goes, Jacko.
An ambitious prediction. It falls short. Jenkins, Frost, defensively, got hands to it first. At ground level, Ben Thompson gets it. Boot to ball, kick smothered. The Magpies offensively superb here. Lock it inside their attacking 50. And we'll have a ball up 10 metres away from the Magpies' goal.
It was more in hope, Johnny.
They're having it inside forward 50 enough to put scores on the board, which they're not doing. Angove overran the footy for Eaglehawk. Playing for a free kick and getting one was Cal McConaughey. This is Cameron Power's favourite player. His drinks are not empty every time we come to the camp reserve. He just loves him. As Cal McConaughey, and I must say I do love the way he plays the footy as well, but he needs to kick this if Castlemaine have got any chance of getting back to this game, Sean.
Oh, yes. Well, hopefully he does put it through. But Reece Jenkins has had a good 5 minutes. He's probably had 5 or 6 touches.
And one stub.
Yes.
McConaughey, I called him as a left footer before, and maybe he should have kicked it on the left foot because he kicked it right, in fact, and kicked a minor score. It was opportunity gone begging Magpies. They trail 8-51. We're almost midway through this second term. Score sponsor Don Smallgoods is good. Live 25 local fresh footy.
Ball to be brought in by Ty Evans from the GWS Academy. He kicks for the two Blues all the way to half back. A clamour of bodies. Couple of Eaglehawk players ran into each other there. Ben Thompson and Joel Budrick, two experienced operators. Ball to be thrown up just outside attacking 50 for Castlemaine. Jack Thompson goes after the footy. So too does the Magpies player there in the number 13 jersey. And it's gone out of bounds. Zachary Greaves. In fact, free kick picked out. Thanks for that, Sean. So it'll be taken by Jack Thompson across half back for the two Blues. He sends it to half forward. High ball. And the mark has been taken. He has to shield it with his eyes, does Jack O'Shaughnessy, as he assesses options as a runner. It's Ty Evans. O'Shaughnessy unselfishly gave it to him, then followed up with a Shepherd. Kick by Evans, long and deep. Lands about 25 metres out from home. Jack Thompson, Buttery, kick partially smothered. Clever tap, comes the way of the Burrows. Mitchell Cherry. He snaps and goals. Celebration around Camp Reserve as a steam train, it appears, or an older train nevertheless, arrives into Castlemaine. 9-3-57 Eaglehawk. Castlemaine 128. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Builder. Live 25 local fresh footy.
Look, that was a nice goal, but it stems back to that silly free kick given away from Castlemaine. It's really not acceptable. And then they just gone into the next touch, and then Eaglehawk get a goal out of it.
That's his second too, Johnny. Mitchell Ronchetti this afternoon.
Back into the middle they go. It was Bolter in the ruck for the Magpies. Eaglehawk will win it though through Thompson. Sweeping handball. Ended up with Joe Donat, who's been good. Short pass to half forward. Building here through Jack Thompson now of Eaglehawk. Inside forward 50. Wilkinson. He mops up for the Magpies. Handball to Byrne. Byrne will go short and he finds Will Moran. He looks inboard. He wants to go aggressive by the looks of it, then decides against it. Then he'll go down the line. They'll set themselves. Hartley at the back of the pack was the target. Comes off hands. And across half forward, Castlemaine in attack. On the railway side, we'll have a ball in. Castlemaine 8. They trail South Eaglehawk 57-13 gone second term.
Last goal for Castlemaine was through Josh Eyre at the 5-minute mark of that opening term. Bolter pushed Frost out of the ruck contest. I wonder if he's marginally winning that battle at the moment, Sean Smith. I'll get back to you in a moment. The clearing kick for the two Blues came from half back up towards half forward, but it's been chopped off again by that man in those flamboyant yellow boots. He kicks off the right boot, does Will Moran, up towards Michael Hartley, his coach. A wise move and operator, you have to say. As he kicks to the coach kicks goalward, but it's across the face and just a behind. 1-2-8, the Magpies, Eaglehawk 9-3-57.
Holmes now for Eaglehawk, plays on from fullback, runs a long way, then he'll send it long beyond 50 to the railway side. Good hit up to Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson on right half back. comes aggressively inboard. That was okay to Evans. Evans, short pass forward to half forward. Good ball movement. Came at the ankles and was good enough to mark it. Was Marsh. Marsh will swing it wide now. He's got another player on in Holland. Holland now on the left will kick it long and high, inside forward 50. They'll set themselves front and centre. McLennan did well. It was Campbell. There's two brothers in this afternoon, Campbell and Curtis. And we'll have a ball up, 50 in front, Eaglehawk in attack.
Bolter and Frost. No one got hands to it, actually. Ball went straight to ground. Billy Evans gets the loose ball. Goes about 10 forward and about 40 in the air. Ricochets off to ground level. Bolger dances around a couple of tacklers. Better than Johnny's dance moves pre-game, I may admit, when Fitzy alluded to the music schedule for the clubroom social this evening. Ball's gone into dispute, in case you're wondering. There wasn't much happening. So perhaps we should be pondering song choices for you this evening, Johnny, here at the Camp Reserve.
It'll be confession for me tomorrow morning, Father Jackson Saunders. Don't you worry about that. As the ball comes into the middle with Eaglehawk. Geez, they've got numbers. Receiving a ball at the back door was Evans. They retreated nicely. Spread wide now. Short pass to Holland. Holland a 20-metre ball forward. He shared it nicely to Thompson. Back now we come to Evans, to half-back. Eaglehawk retreating nicely in order to find a passage. Now they'll go back down the wing, and Will Moran did well defensively over the top. Joel Mullen was the target for Eaglehawk, and the punch goes over the boundary line. And on true centre wing, Railway side will have a ball in. 57 playing 9. Castlemaine trail halfway through this second term, and Castlemaine have got a pretty strong wind here and are just failing to capitalise.
It's Harcourt leading 3-2-20 over Carisbrook, 2-1-13 at quarter time in the Maryborough Castlemaine District Football League 2. Ball's tossed back in, out of sight. Again, neither ruckman got hands to it. Ball spills to the back of the pack. Joel Butterick loops the hand pass forward. He follows up. He recovers his own ball. His hand pass sloppy though, although he was under enormous pressure, so that was a bit harsh on him. Will Moran with the clearance was good, and he spot up Curtis McLennan, who's got it across half-back, back edge, centre square. Foot pass is good, and he's spotted up Ben McConaughey.
Ben McConaughey, an ugly-looking left inside forward 50. Might be a turnover here through Hanley. Hanley held without the footy, Sean? Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Castlemaine just not capitalising here with the win. Hanley now, short pass forward, 20-metre ball to Bennett. Bennett of the Two Blues. Right in front of us here in the little red apple truck, the sponsor for the broadcast this afternoon of the commentators here, providing an absolutely magnificent position to watch the footy from, as Cal McConaughey on the true centre wing might have asked for a free kick by the umpire, won't get one. It will be a ball up in front of the timekeeper's box. A ball in, rather.
Great game in Curio, by the way. Sandhurst leading Gisborne by a point. Frost got the tap out. He had 60 last week. He was dominant. That kick was good. It was no good, though, in fact, in the end. Liam Wilkinson, he kicked it up towards centre wing. Railway's side, it's sloppy. It's bouncing between the two sides. Ball is stolen by the Two Blues once more. Butterick inside 50 with the kick. 20 out, back of the pack. Open goal beckons, loose ball, and it's Ben Thompson that capitalises from 2 metres out for his second. And Eaglehawk get their 10th. 10-3, 63. They've been accurate. Castlemaine 139. 8 minutes gone. Second term. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals. Live 25. Local fresh footy.
Nice goal there from Eaglehawk. Everything that Castlemaine's doing, it just seems like it's hard work. Eaglehawk's back line's held up well, but that's from the disposal of Castlemaine going forward too isn't helping, so it's helping Eaglehawk's back line.
Where are they breaking down, Sean? Is it across half forward, particularly for Castlemaine?
Yeah, a bit everywhere. See, Eaglehawk are lowering their eyes. They're just better disposal when they're getting the ball, where Castlemaine are not really hitting many targets, Johnny.
Yeah.
Which is really making it hard.
Frost gets a free kick for Eaglehawk in the middle, the big ruckman. On the left foot, he'll send it shallow inside forward 50. Good use of the body, Wilkinson Magpies, across half-back. Liam Wilkinson. He's been serviceable this afternoon, but he's had a lot of ball coming down his way. It's a long ball forward to Air. Air now will turn and go. He's got no one inside forward 50. They stream forward now. Calling for it was John Watson. He might have been dealt with without the footy. The Eaglehawk player didn't look at the ball, and he's given away a free kick, Sean.
Yeah, for sure. He retarded him when he grabbed his arm, so he deserved the free kick.
Donat was running with the flight of the ball and just fell into the trap. He lost John Watson where he was and then just reached out and grabbed him, as you say. And it will be John Watson just to make things possible for Castlemaine, because they're a long way behind. They will have this wind in the last quarter, but they need to hit the scoreboard and do on that occasion. He's popped it through. Geez, it spun nicely off the boot and worked it through for their second of the afternoon. 2-3-15, trailing 10-3-63. Eaglehawk score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Good mark by Josh Eyre up at the half forward there. Had two Eaglehawk opponents and he extended his arms and marked it at the highest point and then moved it on quickly to Johnny Watson into a bit of space, which caused the free kick as Eaglehawk was under too much pressure. Good play.
It was indeed the thoughts of Sean Smith, Live 25, local fresh footy. Frost took it out of the ruck. Both ruckmen have done that a lot today. And he gets boot to ball to half forward. You can hear the steam train in the distance to half forward. O'Shaughnessy. Now Ben Thompson. He got the last goal for the two Blues. He unselfishly puts it to the central locality, searching for Billy Evans. Instead found Cal Huntley. He cleared and gave it to Bolter at centre half back for the Magpies.
Castlemaine. Chester over the top to Wilkinson, who ran on the wing. Handball forward. He got dealt with after the footy. Mullen then offered support for his Eaglehawk counterparts up against the boundary line and put it over, and we'll have a ball in.
Well done, Wilkinson from Castlemaine there.
36-year-old legs then did very well to run off half back. The Castlemaine flyer off to Moulton this afternoon. The steam train in the background. Trying to make a path there for Eaglehawk was Nick Hoare. Didn't have opportunity to dispose of the footy, so the umpire said, give it to me on the timekeeper's wing, we'll have a ball up.
I like that steam train. Its colours red and black, very fitting after last night. In the centre, Callum McConaughey for the Magpies, combines with Staples. He takes the game on, kicks inside 50. Fisted away from Zachary Greaves. Off hands, Ethan Hanley got it first for the two Blues. Did well. Langford receives now. He'll clear towards Bolger, who's got it right in front of our broadcast position, thanks to our sponsor, Little Red Apple.
Short pass forward. Hits Hoare. Hoare on defensive arc of 50. In front of us in the Little Red Apple truck, sponsored this afternoon of the broadcast. Short pass forward to Butterick. Butterick still on halfback for Eaglehawk.
They're lucky to be 15, those kicks.
They are, as he'll go laterally, across defensively, finds a teammate in Hanley. Hanley short pass forward. They're looking for a path now, Eaglehawk. Ends up with Evans looking for a 50, won't get one. Short pass, another 14.9 metre ball. Hits Butterick. Butterick over the top by hand. Eaglehawk looked to move it down the wing. Franklin did well, then lost his feet. Tries to shovel it out. Slingo offered support of the Magpies. Turnover, running through with Frost. Shoveled it out there to Butterick. Butterick, Eaglehawk will go inside forward 50. Home to the target, but mopping up for the Magpies with Brody Byrne.
Certainly don't need a calculator when I broadcast with John Hunter. The descriptions of measurements bang on, as Staples with that headband and the blonde hair kicks to half forward. He finds Josh Eyre, but he was tackled gallantly by Langford. Score coming through in the Loddon Valley Football League. Inglewood 6-5-41. Lead Calival 2-2-14. Ball to be thrown up right in front of us. Frost v Hartley. Bit of a falcon, ricocheted off his head/shoulder, bit of both. Spills back to Cal Huntley. He kicks long and deep. It'll land about 20 metres out from goal. Getting there first, those Aidan Hanley for Eaglehawk.
Over the top to Sam Thompson. Thompson beyond 50, railway side. Did well. Now Eaglehawk off half-back will slow it down. Short pass, again a lateral short ball. Nick Hoare getting his hands on the footy. Now he'll go more aggressively to the wing. They're out here. Target Donat. He's got a running player offering support in Holland. Holland now on the left will go short inside forward 50. And a mark there was taken by O'Shaughnessy. And I suspect Sutherland slipped at the last moment when he went to take off and gave the corridor completely to O'Shannessy, and now they have a shot at goal.
It was good footwork by Eaglehawk all the way up there.
O'Shannessy, long way from home. I dare say he won't kick it into this wind. It's very, very strong. He's kicking to the club room's end. He just props it up. It does go a long way. Good defensive punch. Whistle on play. And Castlemaine are going to be given a free kick against. I reckon there was an infringement in the pack.
A hold. Clayton Holmes, I think, is getting the free kick.
At top of the goal square, and a free kick to Eaglehawk, and this will hurt the Magpies. He's had it easy enough, Clayton Holmes, this afternoon without giving to him on a plate, though.
Yeah, how many goals has he kicked at the moment? Is
4. So
four?
he's looking for
Okay.
his 5th.
Yeah, all right. Thank
Write
you.
it down, Father Jackson. Clayton Holmes, right at the top of the goal square. Oh, jeez. He did kick a goal in the end, but made it work. It just swung at the last moment and snuck through. So extending the lead here, the Borough. 11-3-69. They lead Castlemaine 2-3-15. Almost 25 gone. Second term score. Sponsor Jason Westcott Builder. Live 25 local fresh footy.
That's the difference there. Eaglehawk worked it down from the Castlemaine's point post with good foot skills all the way down to get a free kick. Castlemane's entry into the forward line, just wasn't really up to it. Well, that's the difference in the game so far.
And a half-time score in the Heathcote District Footy League coming through. Mount Pleasant 8-4-52. Lead White Hills 5-2-32. Michael Hartley taps it down, but it's roved by Eaglehawk's Nick Hoare. He goes to centre half forward. Ball hits the turf, and we'll need to have another ball up. So in this term, 3-1 in favour of Eaglehawk. Clayton Holmes with that last goal. Braden Frost fists it down straight into the path of Deacon Marsh. Deep ball. It's 2 metres out from goal and marked by the man wearing the number 2 Guernsey. Billy Evans opens up the angle, snaps and slots through a major. So that's the 12th for the Borough, 12-3-75. Now 60 points ahead of Castlemaine, 2-3-15. In the shadows of the opening half, 26 minutes gone. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers. Live 25, local fresh footy. And Sean, Billy Evans, too good.
Yeah, he uses his strength for advantage, and he's had a pretty good quarter, that Evans. Very good player.
AFL experience through Brisbane, was it not?
That's right.
Father Jackson, yeah, very, very strong, as is this man Frost in the ruck. But Castlemaine through Staples might win it through, but he didn't have a lot of time to get rid of it. Had Pryor, but good umpiring decision in the end. Thompson will get a free kick to Eaglehawk. Thompson to Thompson. Sam Thompson was the recipient. Then a short pass and hits up teammate in Ron Cherry. Ron Cherry has the mark. He's halfway between centre wing and half forward now. On the left, inside forward 50. Hartley playing back. Got caught behind. And Clayton Holmes is doing absolutely what he likes in that forward 50. In fact, it is Clayton. It's Clayton Holmes, and he's going to line them up directly in front. But a pretty good kick from there.
It'll test him. The game to watch. It's a thriller at the QEO. Sandhurst 4-7-31 leading Gisborne 4-5-29.
Clayton Holmes here at the camp reserve, slots it through, and he is now kicked. Is that 5, Jack?
6.
6. Not even half time here at the camp reserve. He's just absolutely having a field day up forward. 13-3-81 to 2-3-15, 27.5 minutes gone. Second term score sponsor, Parsons Towing, Live 25, local fresh footy.
He just read that better in Castlemaine's defence. So it was a good mark, but well read.
The other 2 games in Bendigo footy to keep an eye on. Strathfield say by 21 points over Kangaroo Flat at Dower Park, and South Bendigo 9-4-58 over Golden Square 2-4-16. Back in the centre, the take out from the Magpies looks for Josh Eyre, 20 metres out from goal, but the boundary line and Siren are both his enemies, and so it is half time. Eaglehawk go into the major break with a convincing lead of 66 points. 13 goals, 3, 81. Castlemaine at 2-3-15. The star of the show in those first 2 quarters of footy, Clayton Holmes, who has kicked 6 goals, the Eaglehawk co-coach. Plenty of scores from other games in the Bendigo Football League and across the region in our neighbouring leagues to come to you very shortly on Live 25 Local Fresh Footy.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Kaiser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Kaiser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Kaiser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
It's the Bendigo Football Netball League top 5 for round 5. Let's kick things off with a nice hanger. Let's look for Zach Shelton here from Golden Square. He's up and away. Number 2, Michael Romero from Strathfield Say at the back of the pack, falls in his lap. How about that? Number 3, Sam Heaviside here. Got it out the pack and went with the left foot snap. Gets the kind bounce and it goes through. Number 4, the coach's dream, the front and centre goal. Clayton Holmes from Eaglehawk, just sitting at the front of the pack. The big snap. Oh yes, good finish. Number 5, another example of a great front and centre. Tommy Turner, Golden Square, mops it up, says thank you very much.
Live 25 local fresh footy. It's half-time at Camp Reserve in this round 6 Bendigo Football League clash, and Eaglehawk leading by 11 goals over Castlemaine. 13 goals, 381 to Castlemaine, 2-3-15. Father Jackson Saunders, Johnny Hunter and Sean Smith with you in commentary. Our broadcast team also including Norm Jenkin, Ray Pinner, our ground technician, and Glenn Gordon back in the studio. Eaglehawk running back out onto the ground for this third quarter, which is about to commence. Looking at other games in the Bendigo Football League this afternoon, the game to watch very closely is at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. It is Sandhurst and Gisborne in a real do-or-die kind of seesawing battle, I should say, and it's a 4-point lead to Gisborne. 5-5-35 over Sandhurst, 4-7-31. South Bendigo at Wade Street lead Golden Square, 9-5-59 to Golden Square, 2-5-17. And Stratfield saying a relatively low scoring clash against Kangaroo Flat, 4-10-34, lead by 20 points against Kangaroo Flat by 20 points, 2-2-14. You've got some scores coming through too, Johnny.
Yes, Jacko, and shout out to Glenn Braybrook as well, who his song we play at half-time of each and every game in the Bendigo Football Netball League. A song about the weekend, which Glenn will be home listening in his shed, no doubt, to the Magpies. Now, I've got a report from South Bendigo, thanks to Richard Jones, who is reporting there on behalf of the Bendigo Advertiser. Half-time, South Bendigo are a bit quieter in that term, but they've still got a good lead at half-time. South Bendigo 9-9-59 to Square 2-5-17. Strubens has got 4 goals. South Bendigo 2 each to Cameron and Brock. Brock Harvey, and for the Square goals to Jaden Burke and to Carson James.
Some other half-time scores that are coming through from other leagues. In the Heathcote District Football League, it's North Bendigo leading 9 goals 8 over Colburn Abbon, 3 goals 8. So a 6-goal lead by 36 points, the Bulldogs.
From North Central, half-time, Donald 117 trail, Wedderburn 10-6-66. St Arnaud 4-1-25, they trail Calder United 12-5-77. And that is the only scores we've got to date for North Central.
And in the Loddon Valley Football League, Bridgewater 11 goals 4-70 over Newbridge, 3 goals 6, 24. And there's another score coming through from the Calival Inglewood game, which I can see is imminent, being typed as Norm shows me that Navarre is leading 8-1-49 over Malden, 4-2-26. So that is an entertaining battle as well. So Castlemaine have emerged from their rooms. Johnny, the third quarter is imminent. Sean Smith, what's the key for Castlemaine in this second half so that it doesn't truly become a blowout?
Yeah, look, the thing is, Eaglehawk's been a lot cleaner with the football. Castlemaine is their own worst enemy. How do you coach with turnovers and bad disposal in those type of areas? So, I mean, they've just got to get a lot more cleaner, Castlemaine. Give themselves an opportunity. Eaglehawk, when they're getting the ball and the rebounding, they're a lot cleaner getting the ball up to their forward line. So in that way, Castlemaine are getting their hands on the football, but they're giving Eaglehawk goals by turning the ball over. So we'll see what happens.
We will put you in first slip too, by the way, Sean. The wind has picked up here and your team sheets nearly flew onto Camp Reserve. It's sunny though, slightly overcast, and we're just about set for this third term to get underway. 13 goals, 3 plays, 2-3. The third term begins. Live 25, local fresh footy with John Hunter.
Yeah, and Castlemaine are kicking against the breeze in this quarter, so they need to at least keep things square if they've got any chance in this game. But Eaglehawk have got other things in mind as they'll win it now through the centre. It'll come to half forward. Holmes, good strong, you've got to push. Good strong attack at the footy. Curtis McLennan got caught behind and just put his hands in the back of Holmes. Holmes puts it in the path of Evans. Evans at ball spills now. It went to Thompson. Thompson kicked it in the goal square. And lurking there was Blake McGregor. And easy as a like, just popped it through with a little soccer goal. And, geez, that was pretty lacklustre. They did it too easy in Eaglehawk. They'll go now to 14-3-87 to Castlemaine 2-3-15. That goal came about in 30 seconds. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Live 25 local fresh footy.
It started with the half-back line. From the half-back line to a goal there, I don't think Castlemaine touched an Eaglehawk opponent. It was just way too easy, as Johnny has said. So we'll start again and we'll see what happens.
It's Morong 8-12-60 in the Loddon Valley Football League at the major break against Maiden Gully YCW 2-4-16. In the Loddon Valley Football League and in the Heathcote District Footy League, half-time score, North Bendigo 9-8-62, lead Colburn Abbon 3-8-26.
Half-time, Carisbrook 8-5, they lead Harcourt 3-6. So, interesting there, Carisbrook have the lead in the MCD finale.
Back in the centre, it'll be Bolter and Frost in the ruck contest. Both muscle each other. Hartley gets boot to ball with clearance to half forward. Away from Campbell McLennan. Lots around this contest at the moment, and we'll need to have another ball up. So it's a 72-point lead at the moment to the two Blues.
Castlemaine across half forward. Up they go in the ruck. Bolter wins the ruck contest. Puts it in the path of Staples, who overran the footy. Mullen did well for Eaglehawk, but he coughed it up. Then sharking the footy did well was Huntley. Huntley went to Fajay Jr. Then they go to Cal McConaughey. Cal McConaughey is collared. Took too long. And Eaglehawk, ruthless they are here. Thompson handball through the middle. They'll work it through O'Shannessy. The old 1-2 on a half forward. Handball over the top. Angove is lurking. Just takes his time. Bunts at the football and bunts it through for another goal. And I said bunt there, Sean Smith, that's exactly what it was. It was like a 9-9, 2-3-15. Castlemaine really labouring now. Eaglehawk 15-3-93. Don Smallgood score sponsor. Is Don is good. Live 25 local fresh footy.
As coach of Eaglehawk, you'd be racked with their last two goals, how they've just worked from the half-back line. They linked up very well there, and that was a very good team goal. Probably the goal of the day in my eyes.
7 goal kickers, 2 now for the Borough, and I tend to echo your sentiments there, Sean. That was a spectacular goal to view. In the middle, ruck contest, Frost hits it down, Buderick. It was a clean path for him. He took it out, scooped it, kicked it off his right boot to left half forward. Good defensive work by Castlemaine's Brodie Byrne, the son of Frank, round the body, and he's spotted up Callum McConaughey across half back for the Magpies.
Short pass. It only went 13 metres, that one to Huntley. 12.98, I reckon. Huntley gets it, though. Now he'll come laterally to Hickey. Hickey, good strong mark. Cross half back, broadcast side in front of us, in front of the little Red Apple truck. Sponsors this afternoon. Fajay Jr. for Castlemaine. Been a little bit quiet this afternoon. Needs to get his hands on the footy as well. He'll now play on. Trots off. Now he goes down the line. Up they'll go. Air is the target. Tries to get front position. He couldn't. Evans did well for Eaglehawk. Contest is hard on the wing in front of the timekeeper's box. Ball up. Score 93 playing 15. Eaglehawk lead.
I can't match your mathematical efforts there, Johnny, but I've got a story for you in a moment. Kick from Buderick toward half forward, going back with the flight of the ball. Enormous courage shown by Jack Sutherland. And he kicks off the left boot to centre half back for Brodie Byrne. Met a Sri Lankan couple this morning for a wedding, and one of the names filled out on the form, 6 words long and about 15 letters each. It was enormous as Callum McConaughey kicks inside 50 for Hartley, who goes back with the fly of the ball and judges it well. I was just grateful in that moment, Johnny, that this name, which was 6 words and about 90 letters long, wasn't one we'd have to commentate on Live 25 local fresh footy.
I was holding my breath wondering what you're going to say then, Father Jackson, but I'll leave it with you.
Michael Hartley, he will kick the coach from, I won't try to do a John Hunter. I'll get your measurement in a moment. He's nailed it. And I'm sure Johnny will nail the measurement for us in a moment.
It was 50.
3-3-21, the Magpies. Eaglehawk 15-3-93. 5 minutes gone. Third term, a goal in each term now for the Magpies. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Just need to point out that was a very courageous mark by that Callum McConaughey, and that's what got Castlemaine the goal. So little efforts like that, and you get 6 points.
It was deep in the back zone too, Sean, wasn't it, that occurred? As he's into the middle, Callum McConaughey too. He's a tough player. He's one of my favourites at the main. Back into the middle, so is this by Frost. Frost put it down the throat of Butterick for Eaglehawk. Mullen, he's got time and space on half forward. He left Brodie Byrne in his wake. Now he'll go forward looking for Clayton Holmes. Used his body well, Holmes, but just couldn't gather the football. Hickey held his feet and it tumbled over the line right up against the point post. Eaglehawk in attack. They lead this one very easily. They're in control, 93, playing 21. It's only 7 minutes gone, third term.
Premiership term, as it's historically known. Still lots of the footy season to unfold. However, Patrick Bolter took it out of the ruck. That was classy to observe by hand to Declan Slingo. Slingo slung around in a tackle. After it is Eaglehawks' Nick Hoare. Intercepted, though, by Declan Slingo again for the Magpies. That was good. It was exciting to watch. They've got it to the centre here. Jack Chester takes the game on. Weaves in and out of traffic by hand to Callum McConaughey. His hand pass went astray. He followed up McConaughey. And then he ducked and weaved and he kicked it towards right half forward for the Magpies.
Did well, found Campbell McLennan. Now McLennan slows things down. Right half forward. Blazing sunshine. Kicks it into the shadows. Pack forms. Front and centre is Chester. He's clever. Keep your eyes on him if he keeps his feet, but he's collared. And we'll have a stoppage. Inside forward 50. Bit of a crowd in front of the club rooms there here at Camp Reserve. Bolter in the ruck, but he's beaten again by the big ruckman again in Frost of Eaglehawk, who's been so good this afternoon. Secondary stoppage inside forward 50. Castlemaine in attack. They trail 21-93.
Over in that locality, I was chatting to Mark Shannon before, Johnny, the Castlemaine team manager, and he was telling me to give you a heap. I think I've been a bit lenient this afternoon as the kick from Ty Evans out of the congestion up towards centre wing goes the way of Billy Evans. Free kick though, penalty for holding the ball against Jack Thompson, and it goes to Ashton Franklin for the Magpies. Kick inside, Curtis McLennan has it just to the right of the centre circle. He's kicking towards the club room's end. Short foot pass. Call to play on are the Magpies. They've made a meal of it. A stoppage evolves. And a terrific tackle applied by Joel Mullen will have a ball up.
Across half forward. Castlemaine they've had it inside forward 50 a bit in this third term. Let's see if they can convert, but working it nicely. Hands on footy. The old 1-2 Bennett. They'll share it around across the half back line and then kick it to the outer side wing. Mullen overruns the footy, but he's good enough and clever enough for Eaglehawk. Picks it up, sends it to a one-on-one contest. Evans went in at one-handed. Sutherland went to, handball Huntley. Huntley to Byrne. Magpies will mop up in the back zone to Semmons, who's been a little bit quiet the last 30 minutes or so. Now he's got the footy. Will step around a player and then he'll go long down the wing. He's pushed as he kicked the football. Good strong work in the body. Hanley did well for Eaglehawk, caused it to go over the boundary line, and across half forward Eaglehawk, it'll be a throw in.
I was just admiring the pink boots of Ashton Franklin of the Magpies. Mind you, that's not my cup of tea. A frothy on a Saturday afternoon, more fitting at this hour of the afternoon. Patrick Bolter taps it, but straight into the path of the Borough as the flying shot at goal comes short towards the top of the goal square. O'Shannessy at 3 against. They've still got boot to ball. Advantage paid, and he's kicked the goal from the kick in from there, and it's a delightful finish. And Eaglehawk have yet another 16 goals, 3 now. 99, Castlemaine 3-3-21. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder, Live 25, local fresh footy.
There's a bit of a dangerous tap on the wing there from the Castlemaine into the corridor, and great play down there with the Eaglehawk beating 3 Castlemaine opponents. You just got to say, great football.
Thanks to all the people around Central Victoria sending in the scores to some of our personal phones here. Gary Devereux's out at Newstead, and it's half-time in a very low-scoring game. Newstead 2-5-17 lead the Giants 1-3-9. So keep them rolling in. We've got them coming in left, right and centre in all leagues across all competitions in central Victoria. As the wind is just howling here at Camp Reserve. As they've gone to collect the footy down probably at Barker's Creek somewhere.
Campbell's Creek.
Well, what's the creek beside us? It's for the ones beside it. I beg to differ. Doesn't Barker's Creek come this way and it meets Forest Creek down at the... There's a few creeks here anyway, you get the message. As the ball comes into the middle, we're treading water here at the Camp Reserve. As Castlemaine still labouring here. Bolter against Frost. Frost just won it a little bit too easy. Dished it off to Thompson. Thompson inside forward 50 to O'Shannessy. Hickey kept his feet for Castlemaine. Then he just managed to tumble it forward but caused a turnover. Evans' kick is smothered. Now the ball spills. Sutherland mops up for Castlemaine. Handball to the back door to Curtis McLennan. Kicks it, comes off hands. Slingo picks it up and tries to offer support. Gets dragged across the line. And in fact, he must have put out his hand, I think, and give away a free kick. Don't argue, 1 for 2 high. And the free kick goes to Eaglehawk, and Mullen has got it at 60 metres.
He does. So 2 kicks out from goal. Mullen will look to send it deep. Inside 50. Clayton Holmes. Could he be lining up for his 7th? Fisted away from him. Great defensive spoil from Ashton Franklin. Supported by Byrne. Close to the boundary line. Franklin takes it out. Boundary throw-in at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Game of the day, no doubt, in the Bendigo Football League. Gisborne 6-5-41 leads Sandhurst 5-7-37. It's South Bendigo by 45 points over Golden Square 2. And Stratfield say by 30 points against Kangaroo Flat at Dower Park. All those games in the midway stages of the third term. From the boundary throwing, Ben Thompson for Eaglehawk knocks it down. It's 25 metres from Eaglehawk's goal as the train for Melbourne gallivants by. We'll have it thrown up.
Inside forward 50. Eaglehawk kicking to the scoreboard end. They've got a strong wind. Evans wins the footy. Handballs to Mullen. Mullen on the left to the hot spot to O'Shannessy, who pushed his opponent. I reckon that was there. Jack Sutherland will get the free kick for the Magpies. But he looks dangerous down there, O'Shannessy. I like the way Jack Sutherland goes about it. On the left, he'll go to McLennan. Campbell McLennan was the target on this occasion, but come off hands, and it will be a ball in. Right on 49 metres in attack for Eaglehawk, in front of the Little Red Apple Truck sponsorship this afternoon for the broadcast position. Thank you, Simon. Hopefully he's listening out there this afternoon as the ball will be thrown in. Up they'll go in the ruck. Frost did well. That was clever to the back door, but he tapped it to Voice, and it was Slingo of Castlemaine, but Slingo was collared, and we'll have another ball up stoppage, 50 from home, Eaglehawk in attack.
We do indeed. Bolter fists it down, about 15 around the contest. Another ball up. Had a lovely apple this morning on the road from the Goulburn Valley. Perhaps not as good as our sponsor, the Little Red Apple, but yes, I had a lovely apple this morning coming back from Shepparton overnight. No Goulburn Valley Footy League today, by the way. They've got a break this weekend as Eaglehawk re-obtained the footy. Geordie Holland kicked to Braden Frost. He slithered to ground. Ball ricocheted off his chest. Patrick Bolter, the unlikely rover, intercepted by Zach Bolger. Play on, ricochet, Messi, Castlemaine. Ball alludes to Zachary Greaves across half back in front of our broadcast position. Kick is no good. And straight to Charlie Langford, who had 17 touches last week for the Two Blues.
Played on quickly, gave it off, and they'll go forward. The Two Blues now inside forward 50. Holmes is the target. Picking up Curtis McLennan on that occasion. Did well Franklin. Dished it out Greaves. Greaves short pass. Spots up his teammate again. It's McConaughey. McConaughey with the footy. This is Ben. Ben will go long now. Air is the target. He lost his footing. Langford did well. Turnover. It'll be Air picked it up like he was really close to the ground. He's a tall man. Puts it to the outside of the boot. Watson is the target. Sam Thompson. It's a foot race. Sam Thompson wins it. They'll share it around in the back half. They'll need to be careful, Eaglehawk. Hurried kick beyond 50, and it'll go up to the wing and a whistle on play. And just for the record, Father Jackson Saunders, the only apple I'm going to have has got alcohol in it and inside a bottle and sparkling.
Right. Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it very much. It was Thompson that brought the ball down the line there. Jack to his namesake Ben Thompson. They go across the ground. Mallon. Now the next link in the chain appears to be Geordie Holland, who receives. He's got 2 kicks out from goal. Suddenly, though, they just stop and they ponder various possibilities. Do the Blues. Holland with those blue boots, appropriately so for an Eaglehawk player. Looks for O'Shannessy. Ball fisted away from him. The crumb, too easy from Mitchell Ronchetti, and he slams boot to ball and puts it through for a major. Another goal. This is an avalanche of goals. 17 goals, 3, 105. They bring up the century. Castlemaine 3-3, 21. We've gone 16 minutes in this third term. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy. That's his third, Sean. Mitchell Ronchetti, he's been a valuable contributor today.
Yeah, nice goal. Been a bit scrappy the last 5 or 10 minutes. So I think the wind may have something to do with that. But that started again from the half-back line.
We've been talking about Castlemaine, how disappointing they are. Don't take anything away from Eaglehawk. They are a contender this year. They've been impressive every time I've seen them, and they haven't changed this afternoon. As it goes inside forward 50 again, Franklin now will handball to Simmons. Magpies in control across half-back. Curtis McLennan handball there wide to Franklin. Franklin up to the wing, and the ball is hard up against the boundary line, and it will be a stoppage. It will be a ball up. And the scoreboard reads 105 playing 21. As I said, Eaglehawks super impressive this afternoon here at Camp Reserve.
They have been indeed on this season. Their form line has been equally stellar. In 4 of their 5 games, they've kept opposition to 50 points or less. They have been extraordinary this afternoon, have the 2 Blues, and they have spoiled the aspirations of Castlemaine to make a back-to-back-to-back as far as football games are concerned today. The Magpies did win the under-18s and the reserves earlier, in case you have just joined us. Budrick lays it short to Billy Evans, who was pushed in the back by Hunter Staples, so he'll take the free kick. Roway's side wing, 105 plays 21, 84 points. It's a big, big lead to the Borough. Billy Evans looks for Jack O'Shannessy, can't find him. Defensively, Ashton Franklin has battled hard all day. He creates a bit of a stoppage. Ben Thompson feeds the hand pass looking for Budrick, but in fact it was a throw, and Cal Huntley will take it for the Magpies across half back.
By his standards, Huntley's been a little bit quiet this afternoon. He'll come laterally to Simmons. Oh, Simmons dropped a mark he should have taken. He's got time and space. Will handball over the top back to Huntley. Huntley through McConaughey. McConaughey strong through the hips to Fay Jr. Short handball. Running through the middle was Simmons. Good build-up. Oh, dropping the mark he should have taken was Hartley. Hartley was good enough to grab it, though. Went around the body. Didn't really look. Mopping up here. Series of handballs ends up. Eaglehawk Sam Thompson will kick it to the outer side wing.
He does. He was looking for Blake McGregor. Ball fisted away from him and out of bounds in front of the interchange gates. We'll have a boundary throw in. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast this afternoon. It's been blustery conditions here at the Camp Reserve. Good crowd in and a beautiful atmosphere, albeit Eaglehawk dominating. Ball's thrown back in. Zachary Greaves attempted to get the footy, and that was a wonderful smother applied on the kick of Eaglehawk's Jack Thompson. And some good sportsmanship too for clamour of bodies, but high fives from players of respective sides. Jack Chester, one of those who barreled into the gates through the clash of bodies.
Up they'll go in a ruck again. Frost has been really good against Bolter. Dead heat in the end. We're all tied up. Bolter doing some heavy work ground level on that occasion. As the ball just goes further into the corridor. Bolter won at that occasion, tapped it to Huntley. Huntley, a small little kick, spills fortunately to Ben McConaughey. Handball forward, looked for Chester. That was ambitious. It was the wrong target to go to, and he knew it as soon as he did it. Caused a stoppage on the wing, and it'll be a ball up. Just the wrong bloke to handball
it
it
to.
to.
Good little build-up, yeah. Maybe you should have tried a different option, but
Gisborne have kicked a goal to advance to an 8-point lead against Sandhurst at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Gisborne looking for their 4th consecutive victory this afternoon and their 5th win of the season. Their only loss against South Bendigo by 27 points in round 2. Greaves with a clearance. Long spiralling ball. 20 metres out from goal. It's marked by Michael Hartley. the coach, and surely this is safe hands. He pondered for a moment, opening up the angle and snapping it, but he's opted for the conventional drop punt kick from directly, well, perhaps not directly in front. Let's say it's a 63-degree angle, and we did put the moz on him there, Johnny. That was
you gave him too much of a build-up. Yeah.
Yes, I did, and the anticlimax just behind.
That was a great tap by Bolter to get it down to the Rover, who then in turn passed it into Heatley.
Yeah, it was actually Kel Huntley with his hands on the footy. So a couple of important touches for Huntley. He needs to really start dominating if they're starting to look respectable as the ball comes quickly into the middle from the kick-in from fullback. Eaglehawk in possession on the wing. A left-footed, a half-forward. There's no one there. Brodie Byrne running with the fly to the footy. Decides to play on quickly. Short pass forward 15 metres to Semmons, who's starting to get his hands on the footy. 25-metre ball along the wing. Railway side to Liam Wilkinson. Wilkinson will turn, true centre wing. Up he'll go to half-forward, hugging the boundary line. Air is the target. Couldn't quite get it. Staples getting involved, but turnover now. Eaglehawk across half-back, and the ball ends up with the big ruckman again in big Braden Frost.
He's got it at centre half-back for Eaglehawk. So Frost goes across the line, and he finds Ethan Hanley, who hugs the boundary line with his kick, and eventually it goes out, so we'll have a boundary throw-in. So it's 14 goals the difference here at Castlemaine. In other games, South Bendigo 11-5-71 lead Golden Square 4-2-26, or 3-8-26 I should say, and Stratfield say 7-13-55 lead Castlemaine 2-2-14. So the Storm pulling away in that one. It's been a long time since Kangaroo Flat last scored. That's right. Thank you. I didn't realise that. It's funny the things you say sometimes without realising. As a chance goes in the centre of the ground, Ben Thompson, he intercepts, he goes to Butterick. They cut through the centre circle to the Borough, express up the corridor, but reading the play like a book. Dropping the mark, though, was Brodie Byrne, and the ball goes into dispute. We'll have a ball up.
Should have marked that one, Brodie Byrne. He just didn't quite have enough of it, but he's been serviceable in this game across half-back. He's been up against it as all the backmen down there have been for the Magpies. So Hartley doing the ruck work, put it down the throat of Staples. Staples got pushed as he kicked it, spilled to Fajay Jr., tries a little bit of a dance, then one bounce, then falls over, tried to do too much. You're gone, son. Pinged. 70 metre from goal and just tried to absolutely do too much.
Speaking about saying things you do wrong, I accidentally elevated Bishop Shane to the pontificate recently in a prayer. That was a real blooper at the cathedral. As the kick off the right boot from that man in Deacon Marsh set sails through for a major, and Deacon Marsh has become, I believe, the 10th goal kicker. I'll confirm shortly for Eaglehawk. 18 goals, 3, 111 to Castlemaine, 3-4-22. An avalanche of goals, Sean, and Eaglehawk showing a multiplicity of options as they go forward.
Yeah, that was a great rove. So, yeah, and capitalised with a nice goal. But, yeah, good bit of play.
As disappointing as this game is, I'm glad to have such a good look at Eaglehawk again. They are the real deal in season 2025.
9 goal kickers, 2 Norm has confirmed with me for the Borough.
And there's plenty of candidates this afternoon for a Bendigo City Framers $100 award, sponsorship award for the best player on the ground. Norm Jenkin will join us post-game and he'll give us his thoughts on the game and who he's going to give it to. Geez, I love Braden Frost. What a player he is, but I'm not trying to influence anybody there, Norm, as he wins the tap again. Harcourt Premiership player too, I might add, is Braden Frost. As Eaglehawk, they're just sharing it at will through the middle. Fajay Jr. picks it up a little outside of the football, and he eventually finds Big Air, who ran onto the footy. And that was a promising build-up, and he'll have a shot at goal. He had to make up for his last blue on the half-back flank, Sean, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and that was, good pressure by Castlemaine there to keep pushing it forward.
So, Air, he's shown promise this afternoon, but just needs to get some consistency in his game. He's been injured a lot over the last few seasons. As it goes left, stays left, minus score, which Castlemaine go now to 3-5-23, trailing 18-3, 111. Live 25 local fresh footy.
Ty Evans, one of a number of recruits to Canterbury Park this year, goes with a penetrating ball about 70 metres into the centre, dropped by Ben Thompson. His kick 2 today has been good, so too has Jack Thompson. Back to Ben Thompson. A Thompson cameo display to Jack Thompson once more. Clayton Holmes, the co-coach, receives.
Glorious football.
I'm speechless. Glorious is an apt description because that was breathtaking to watch, wasn't it, Sean? What did you like about it so much?
Oh, their run off the half-back line has just been amazing. The way they've been linking up this quarter especially. They're just breaking Castlemaine wide apart, and just with that, it's great to watch.
Clayton Holmes, well, I was pondering how I could use the word glorious to illustrate a goal, but he's missed it and he's kicked it behind. And the ball will be brought in for the Magpies.
Sevens plays on from fullback for the Magpies. His target was air. Langford did well for Eaglehawk. They'll tie it up. 50 from goal for Eaglehawk. And I'm starting to think that Eaglehawk might be emerging as a potential favourite for the premiership this season. I know it's early days, but boy, oh boy, they look good. Every time I've seen them, Evans getting involved now as well. Another stoppage at 51 metres. And you saw them last week, Father Jackson Saunders. Were they impressive as this last week as well?
Very much so. Even better today, though. I'll validate your thoughts in a moment with some numbers as Ben Thompson gives it to Billy Evans, then to Bolger. Kick inside 50, perhaps almost out on the full, a couple of centimetres shy and out of bounds. So some of those numbers to talk about heading into today. They were number 1 ranked for clearances, 51.2 a game. Number 1 for hard ball gets, 42.2 each game. Number 1 for hit outs, 59.6. They've averaged 167 contested possessions per game. Second is Sandhurst with 133. So they are leading the way in so many aspects of football in the Bendigo Football League. From the boundary throw-in, the clearance from Staples toward our broadcast position. It's stolen though by Eaglehawks Thomas Bennett, who goes backwards to Jack Donar. He combines with Bennett. Back to Donar. Inside 50. Going back bravely. The Borough's Ben Thompson. He's a gutsy play. Clayton Holmes sharks it and snaps his 7th goal. That was glorious, Sean. And it's his first goal of this 3rd term. Eaglehawk are absolutely smashing Castlemaine this afternoon. 19 goals for, 118 to Castlemaine, 3-5-23. Score sponsor, Parsons Towings, Live 25, local fresh footy.
That was impressive how quickly he put that ball onto his boot. That's a high skill within itself.
We haven't really known him as a forward. Not in the games I've seen over the last few years. He's in the ruck, he's across half back, and now to bob up with just 7. All the goals. He looks that potent when he gets near the footy, but back in the middle, Frost wins the tap. Mullen getting involved as well. Turnover though, McConaughey. This is Cal, gives it to Slingo. Slingo will put it in the path of Watson. Watson on half forward, right half forward for Castlemaine. Kicking to the club room's end. Thompson now, handball, Eaglehawk with the footy. Evans, handball forward. They're out. They'll work it across the wing through Holland. Holland has a bounce. Lost it, won it, goes back, retreats to Evans. Evans retreats further. Just a string of handballs. Back there to Holland again. Shallow inside forward 50. O'Shannessy over the top. Gives it to McGregor. Still on 50. Offering support was Marsh. Whistle on play. They did too much 50. In the end. 50. A free kick was given to Brodie Byrne, and it'll take him back up to the wing.
And it's a 95-point lead here for Eaglehawk at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Gisborne pulling away, by the way. They lead by 19 points at present against Sandhurst. Hartley inside 50 with the kick. They've hugged the boundary line. Watson, he opts to go to the teeth of goal. Unselfishly, Air was there. Fisted from him. Ben Thompson, I reckon he's in the mix too for the sponsored award by Bendigo City Framers for the best player on the ground. They clear the Borough, not for long. Chopped off by Zach Greaves, who goes to Hunter Staples. I like this man for the Magpies.
Staples will look to move on. Oh, it's an aggressive ball to half forward. Hits Slingo. Slingo too far from home. Plays on. He'll go low into the pocket. Poor kick. Just caused a turnover. Story of the afternoon. Aidan Hanley intercepted. Now Hanley. He'll look to go to the railway wing. Receives McGregor. McGregor now looks inboard. They're looking to go aggressive. In fact, they'll retreat and go to the back pocket. And that's three-quarter time. 3-5-23 Castlemaine trail Eaglehawk. 19-4, 118.
It was a 6-1 third quarter for Eaglehawks. So they certainly killed it in that third quarter. The scoreboard reads at the last change, Eaglehawk 19 goals for 118 to Castlemaine 3-5-23. We've got heaps of scores from lots of games across all leagues in the Bendigo region. They are coming to you very shortly on Live 25 Local Fresh Footy.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Keyser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Keyser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Keyser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
It's the Bendigo Football Netball League top 5 for round 5. Let's kick things off with a nice hanger. Let's look for Zach Shelton here from Golden Square. He's up and away. Number 2, Michael Romero from Strathfield Say at the back of the pack, falls in his lap. How about that? Number 3, Sam Heaviside here. Got it out the pack and went with the left foot snap. Gets the kind bounce and it goes through. Number 4, the coach's dream, the front and centre goal. Clayton Holmes from Eaglehawk, just sitting at the front of the pack. The big snap. Oh yes, good finish. Number 5, another example of a great front and centre. Tommy Turner, Golden Square, mops it up, says thank you very much.
Right. Johnny, do we have a break post game? Straight through to 5:08 and 30 seconds or something.
It's going to be good having Norm because if you need to pad it out,
Right.
we used to go at 5, but
That's fine.
so I know it's not ideal to pad it out.
No, that's okay. That's fine. It is three-quarter time at Camp Reserve in Castlemaine. Live 25 local fresh footy and Eaglehawk lead. 19 goals for 118 to Castlemaine. 3-5-23. Some scores coming through in other games. In the Heathcote District Football League, it is three-quarter time. Mount Pleasant lead 10 goals 8-68 to White Hills 7 goals 5-47. In the Bendigo Football League, other round 6 games, Gisborne continue to march away from Sandhurst 11-5-71 to Sandhurst 6-11-47. It is South Bendigo leading 15-7-97 to Golden Square, 3-8-26, so the Bulldogs haven't scored for some time. Strathfield say 8-15-63 lead Kangaroo Flat 4-4-28. And coming through another score in the Heathcote District Footy League, it's the last change. North Bendigo 13-8, leading Colburn Avon 6-13.
Three-quarter time here in round 6 of the Bendigo Football Netball League. A dominant Eaglehawk 19-14, 118 to Castlemaine 3-5-25. They will have the advantage of a pretty strong wind here, Castlemaine. Let's see if they can get some respectability on the scoreboard for the final term. Here is Father Jackson Saunders, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Good to be with you, Johnny. Ball to be held up by the field umpire, and we're underway for this last term. Can Castlemaine fight back a bit in this last term? Clayton Holmes is kicked 7 today. He has been the man of the moment in so many ways. Hunter Staples with the takeout to half forward. Campbell McLennan gets in the way. He got control of the footy but was tackled, and so we'll have a ball up 70 metres away from goal. Still blistery conditions here at Camp Reserve. Haven't been here for a number of years. Such a great spot to watch the footy too, with cars parked up on the hill as always.
I learnt many a thing on this ground, don't you worry, over the years, Jacko. Footy and cricket as Eaglehawk. They're just doing as they like here. They've got it on centre wing. Railway side, they'll kick it to half forward. Sutherland wins the ball for Castlemaine. He is caught with the footy but couldn't get rid of it. In fact, has he been given a free kick against? No, it's a ball up. So stoppage. Umpiring has been pretty good this afternoon. Haven't really noticed them at all, which is a good thing. Holmes in the ruck. Taps it to Cal Huntley. Castlemaine, a 60-metre ball to half forward along the boundary line. Off hands. Throw in. And it is Castlemaine really needing some goals on the board. They trail 23 to 118. Live 25, local fresh footy.
Sun still shining. Cool conditions though. I hope you're enjoying a fire at home perhaps. Something always which is cherished at this time of the year.
MCD-FNL three-quarter time. 2-5-17. That is the Giants trail Newstead 4-7-31. So low scoring game out there at, I'd assume it's out at the Giants home ground.
Ango.
Yep.
Chips it over the top and finds Joel Mullen. That game is indeed at Hedges Oval. Johnny and Norm, an interesting observation too at three-quarter time, mentioned that Eaglehawk at one stage had 10 goals on the trot without scoring a behind. So their kicking in front of goal has been almost faultless this afternoon. Charlie Langford goes to Ty Evans, who goes to Joel Buderick. He chips it wide to the wing, and the Borough have it on the Railway side. It's with Jack Donut, who chips over the top again. Whenever I call Donut, I think of that delight that you sometimes have for afternoon tea. He goes to Sam Thompson to centre half forward. Stoppage evolves. It's scrappy. Good tackle though from Castlemaine. Tyson Hickey, and we'll have a ball up.
So stoppage. Just forward of centre. In fact, almost at half forward. Eaglehawk in attack, kicking to the clubroom's end. Slingo got on the end of that tap that came down from Bolter, but he got tied up, so we'll do it again. Another stoppage. Bolter wins the tap, puts it into the middle. Ango swoops on it now, gives it to Mullen of Eaglehawk. Running off half back, Evans received. The Borough will go inside forward 50 again. Sutherland did well for Castlemaine. Spoiled up against the boundary line. Curtis McLennan couldn't quite pick it up. It goes off hands. And 45 from the goal that Eaglehawk are attacking to the clubroom's end, which is the Bendigo end, the northern end of the ground here at the Camp Reserve. We'll have a ball in. Castlemaine trail 23 to 118.
And most players inside Eaglehawks attacking 50 at the moment. The footballers around the football immense. Clearance from Castlemaine. Michael Hartley receives a great mark. That was great to watch. He chips it over the top onto the running path of Brodie Byrne, who kicks it along the ground. It bounces, but straight to the Eaglehawk defensive duo of Ty Evans and also Jack Donut, who get it to Langford and now to Joel Mullen, and it's at centre half back for the Borough.
Mullen wants to move it quickly. He'll go beyond 50 to the wing. Turnover here. Huntley swoops on the footy for the Magpies. He'll look on the left. It's a high footy. Air will set himself if he can get a run at it. Got caught underneath the footy, and I reckon he was impeded. Will an advantage been paid? It has. Johnny Watson swooped on the footy and went around the body and popped it through for the Magpies. Fourth of the afternoon. 4-5-29 Castlemaine. 19-4, 118 Eaglehawk score sponsor. Don Smallgoods. Is Don, is good. Live 25, local fresh footy.
Good driving kick by Huntley there on his left foot. Really put Eaglehawk's back line under pressure, and a nice little contest there and good goal.
Speaking of Huntley, drove through the suburb of Huntley on Thursday night, coming back into Bendigo, and it was like a parade of cars, one after the other. The growth out that part of Bendigo is extraordinary, that's for sure. In the centre, it's Patrick Bolter and Clayton Holmes. It's Bolter that knocks it down. It's roved by Huntley. Boots inside 50. Hartley, that's a worthy free kick, surely. In fact,
Gone the other way.
Yeah, been penalised for a hold. I thought Hartley got to the front position and deserved the free kick. He was kind of pushed in the back. It was debatable. Anyway, the free kick goes the way of the Borough as Ango goes to Donut to half forward, and the Borough in a congested situation cough it up, and it comes back to the Magpies, Callum McConaughey.
He stepped over the boundary line. It was a turnover, and we'll have a ball in. Richard Jones, reporting on behalf of the Bendigo Advertiser, is out at South Bendigo. The South goal scoring blitz continued. 6 goals to 1 in the third quarter. South Bendigo 15-8-98 to the square, 3-8-26. And Tonowitz kicked a goal after the siren, after a big scuffle when the siren had sounded. So South Bendigo will be big winners against Golden Square. Here at the Camp Reserve, Castlemaine will go inside forward to 50 again through Jack Chester. Hartley is the target. Footy, he got his hands on it. He's still in the contest, 30 from goal. Umpire let it go. This man's been good. Evans for Eaglehawk. They'll release off half-back. Gives it to Mullen. Mullen comes across the centre for the Borough, but turns it over and kicks it straight to the opposition and gives it to Will Moran.
He does. The Magpies. And it's three-quarter time, the Loddon Valley Football League. Bridgewater 17 goals 6 over Newbridge. 5 goals 6, so 72-point lead to the Mean Machine.
Carisbrook in the MCDFNL lead Harcourt 9-8-62, three-quarter time. Harcourt labouring at 3-6-24.
Langford loops the hand pass over the top. Astray, however, Hunter Staples was tackled and he'll be penalised for holding the ball. Not sure if he had prior opportunity, but to the umpire's defence, he did try to take the game on. So a worthy free kick to Langford, then to Mallon, who lays it off to half forward. And it's almost like training at the moment, Sean Smith, as they find inside 50 Blake McGregor, who would like his second goal for the afternoon.
Yeah, it's a nice pass there, lace out. Castlemaine have won a couple of clearances, but just to Eaglehawk's credit, in the back line, just been way too strong.
Blake McGregor, 1 for the afternoon. This for his second sausage roll of the afternoon. If he converts, it falls short, it floats.
Good mark.
And it has been marked beautifully by Jack O'Shaughnessy, who kicked 3 last week. Today has been quieter up forward, just the 1 goal, but it's still relatively early in this final term. He opens up the angle and nails his second, does Jack O'Shaughnessy. And that is, in fact, Eaglehawk's first goal of this last term. So Castlemaine have kept Eaglehawk goalless for almost 8 minutes in this final stanza. It's Eaglehawk 20 goals for 124, leading by 95 points against Castlemaine 4-5-29. Score sponsor Don's Small Goods. Is Don is good. Live 25 local fresh footy.
I see they've put Holmes into the ruck in the last quarter, so probably shoots his chances to kick the Big 10 today.
Yeah, well, he's been impressive, hasn't he? And
and in the ruck too.
Yeah, he's a candidate for our Sponsors Award, $100 voucher from Bendigo City Framers. Castlemaine will win it out of the middle on this occasion through John Watson. Kicks it to the hot spot. Huntley is lurking. It bounces his way. Foot on ball and goal! Cal Huntley kept his feet. The sly old dog. What a goal that was by Cal Huntley. Pops through their fifth. 5-5-35. to 24-124. Something to get excited about in this final term. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder. Live 25, local fresh footy.
That was highlight football, okay. That was really good.
It certainly was, as the steam train goes by. It's certainly a spectacle here. Various things to entertain you throughout the afternoon. Footy, railway lines. If you're a train nut, I'm not, but it's still interesting nevertheless. And free kick for a push in the back against Eaglehawk. Cal Huntley, the recipient of that free kick. He was pushed in the marking contest.
That's 50.
By Hanley. Yes, you would have thought so.
They threw the ball back nowhere near him.
Correct. So very lenient against Eaglehawk there. Cal Huntley throws the grass up in the air. It is a significant breeze advantage.
He pointed out, Cal Huntley, to the umpire as well, and the umpire just looked and didn't do anything.
And the steam train has stopped, so the onlookers on the train watch, and you can hear the horn of the steam train as Cal Huntley nails that goal. And he kicks his second within a couple of minutes. Castlemaine, in fact, in this term, 3-1. So they've not chucked the towel in, which is good to see. 6-5-41, the Magpies. Eaglehawk, 20 goals for 124. 10 minutes gone in this last term. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott. Build a Live 25, local fresh footy.
Yeah, they're winning the centre clearances and they're kicking the ball long and putting Eaglehawk's backline under pressure where they haven't been all day, and they're getting some people front and square as well, Castlemaine. Let's see if they can finish the last quarter off and have a good last quarter and win the last quarter.
Cal Huntley has shown his smarts, 2 goals in a row.
He's had a great last quarter. He's had a few kicks as well, not just the goals.
Yeah, just the experience and composure and class in the end when there's some tired players. So a good response. Can they keep it up here, Castlemaine? Bolter taps it down the throat of Evans of Eaglehawk, the opposition. Getting involved is Bennett as well across half-back. Sam Thompson collects. He mops up for Eaglehawk, puts it to half-forward. Good bullet ball. And it's an Eaglehawk mark on half-forward. Man with the footy is McGregor. He'll go now into the pocket. Inside forward 50 they go. Wilkinson gets involved at the back of the pack. O'Shaughnessy lurking. Dribbles it towards goal. Diving in after it was a Castlemaine player who couldn't get his hands on the footy. It was Will Moran who was gallant in the end. But good build-up and just class come to the top there for Eaglehawk. 21-4, 130 the Borough. 6-5-41 the Magpies. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Live 25, local fresh footy, and that was just wiped off the map, that bit of play. Then all the good work at Castlemaine.
Yeah, he shows a bit that O'Shaughnessy. He's got a good football brain. He seems to be a very smart footballer.
3-quarter time in North Central. Calder United 17-10, 112 to St Arnold 7-2-44. And post-game we'll get all the games from around Central Victoria, and Norm Jenkin will join us.
We're most thankful to everyone who is sending through scores. Back in the centre, it's Ty Evans who's penalised for holding the ball, and the free kick is taken by the Magpies. So Huntley with that kick. He looks for Hartley. Ball goes over his head and out of bounds. A score 2 coming in from the Loddon Valley Football League, 3-quarter time. It's Inglewood, 12 goals 8. They lead Calible 3 goals 5. So it is a lead by 51 points to the Blues in that contest. Inglewood big improvers in the Loddon Valley Football League of recent times. It's terrific to see. Ball's thrown back in. Front position, Hartley, he fisted it down, he got the crumb, he slammed it on the boot, but it just went across the face to the left-hand side. And a behind, 6-6-42, Castlemaine, Eaglehawk 21 goals for 130.
Donald 1-1, Trail Wedderburn 17-9, 3-quarter time, again in the North Central. Live 25 local fresh footy. Playing on from fullback was Jake Donut for Eaglehawk. He'll go railway side, spotted up Thompson. Good, strong, contested mark. Handball to Angove, who was riding shotgun. Angove down the line to Holmes. Holmes a don't argue on Franklin. They work it forward, still Eaglehawk. Series of handballs ends up with Evans. Evans inside forward 50. Yeah. Training drill. Just put it straight down the throat of Thompson. and he'll, in fact, O'Shannessy rather. And O'Shannessy, again looking impressive, up forward, will have a shot on goal directly in front.
Some of the Eaglehawk faithful across from us, Johnny, they're really enjoying it. Pretty animated of recent minutes in those cars on the outer side.
Really love the work of Jack O'Shannessy. He's a good player and slots it through for the Borough. So it is Eaglehawk really taking control now. I mean, it's been in control since the first quarter, really. 22-4, 136. Castlemaine, 6-6-42. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy.
That was an impressive goal and build-up. As a coach of Eaglehawk and the committee, they would be wrapped with that goal there. That was good football.
94 points the lead, so one more goal and it will be an even 100-point lead to Eaglehawk. A couple of Magpies fly past. Perhaps a little show of support to the home side as Billy Evans gets the clearance, hand pass to Ango, kick, bit of a daisy cutter along the ground. It was a shank really in the direction of Jack Thompson, out of bounds. Again, we'll have a boundary throw in 60 metres out from Eaglehawk's goal at the Castlemaine Football Netball Club social rooms end. In the ruck contest, Bolter out-muscled his direct opponent. Ball came to ground level. After it was Ben McDonaghy, and a free kick penalty for holding the ball goes the way of the Magpies across half back.
John Watson with the footy. Long ball. He's been serviceable this afternoon as well. Brodie Byrne as well, got his hands on the footy, spills forward to Southern, who offered support on the wing. Angove did well and caused a turnover. I reckon it might have been Holmes grabbing it. He might have cramped up as he kicked that footy, and so he should. He's kicked goals and he's been everywhere. Goes inside forward 50. On the end of a footy there was Jack Thompson, and they did it too easily. I thought he kicked the goal, but he slammed it in the post. He missed it. Nelly should have.
I'm not sure what happened there. I thought it was just a goal.
2 metres in front. He's obviously missed it, so minus score 137 playing 42. Eaglehawk lead.
Wilkinson found Jack Chester in those red boots. He goes to Jenkins, back to Chester. Chester down the line. Centre wing, broadcast side. Fisting it down, Ethan Hanley, but they still get it inside 50 to the Magpies. Not for long though. Jack Donut intercepts. And he retrieves the footy and he clears up the corridor. This is exciting to watch from the Borough, Sam Thompson.
Gives it to Mullen, who was riding side by side to the wing. Turnover. Huntley battling hard in the latter stages of this game. Puts it in the path of Ben McConaughey, and he pulled up a bit lame. He's, I reckon he might have cramped a little as well.
He's looking a bit sore, isn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe cramp, or hopefully it's just cramp.
On 50 now to be a ball in.
Three-quarter time, it's Morong in the Loddon Valley Football League, 11 goals, 16 over Maiden Gully YCW, 3 goals, 5. A massive lead to the Panthers. Ball's thrown back in. Neither ruckman knocked it down. The footballer first at the footy is Joel Mallon. It's awful stuff to view at the moment. It's scrappy, but it's exciting nevertheless, this approach with the shot on goal from Callan Huntley. It's hit the woodwork, the big stick, and just a behind.
I'll play on quickly here, Eaglehawk, into the back pocket. Geez, right from the last line of defence, they shared around magnificently, really, Eaglehawk this afternoon. Evans on the end of a couple of possessions end to Thompson, still in the defensive zone. Handball to a player who's running side by side, and that was Evans, who's been good this afternoon. Gives it there to Marsh, getting involved. Handball through the middle. They'll work it nicely to half forward. Running on the end of a footy was Buderick, who's been good this afternoon as well. Is it Buderick or Butterick?
Butterick.
Butterick, short pass forward. He had a lead on, honoured it. Ball spills. Butted up his own ball was Butterick. He ran into a brick wall, and it will be a stoppage. Ball up 55 metres from home. Eaglehawk in attack, scoreboard end. Not scoreboard, sorry, club rooms end.
Three-quarter time at the Heathcote District Footy League as Butterick. I'll keep you in suspense because I thought Butterick was goal-bound there for a second. Castlemaine, though, get in the way. Hunter Staples. And the clearing kick came to Curtis McLennan. It's intercepted again by Ty Evans. He cuts it up to centre half forward. And it's with Jack Thompson. I really like Jack Thompson. He's a good footballer. Over the top, short one, and finds Joel Mallon, who's got it 45 metres out from goal. So three-quarter time, Heathcote District Football League, North Bendigo lead 13 goals 8 over Colbinaban 6 goals 13. So it's about a 7-goal lead to the Bulldogs in that contest. Joel Mallon, meantime, for the Borough, looking for his first major of the afternoon. At the last moment, saw an option in the pocket, unselfishly put in that direction. Fisted away, though. Castlemaine, with good defensive numbers, worked it to Cal Huntley, who got it from Willem Moran.
Put it to the outer side wing. Over the boundary line it goes, and we'll have a ball in. 137 playing 43. The Borough, really impressive this afternoon. Castlemaine, back to the drawing board. They've got a few injuries as well. They'll have a few players come in over the next few weeks. A number of them missing, save Murley. He's prominent as well. He'll come back into the side as Chester, clever tap into the path of Watson. Watson to Campbell McLennan. Had front position, but he's beaten to it. Rebounding now, good again, is Evans. They'll go long, Eaglehawk to half forward. Ball spills to the back of the pack. Franklin Keogh runs onto it for the Magpies. Oh, it was aggressive to Fajay Jr. of the Magpies. He needs to be nimble here. He's caught with the footy. Has he tried to do too much again? Because he has a couple of times when he got the footy. He didn't have a chance on that occasion. And on half forward, it will be a ball up.
Ball's thrown up right on the paint of 50 for Eaglehawk. And another stoppage. Ball up. So we'll have it thrown up. Good to have you with us. Live 25 local fresh footy. Joel Mallon kicks it off the left boot inside 50 and out of bounds in the left forward pocket. Stay with us. Still plenty to come. Scores from games across a number of leagues that we've been following this afternoon. The Bendigo, Heathcote, Loddon Valley, Maryborough, Castlemaine and North Central football leagues in particular. As it's taken out of the ruck contest by Clayton Holmes just so easily. And Clayton Holmes has another. That is his 8th goal of the afternoon. Clayton Holmes take a bow. And it's 100 points the lead to the visitors. 23 goals 5, 143 in Castlemaine. A 6-7 43 as another car departs Camp Reserve. If you're listening, give us a toot as you go out the gates. 21 minutes gone last term. Parsons Towing score sponsor, Live 25 local fresh footy.
Mercy rule needs to be invoked here, I think, Sean Smith.
Yeah, it's just too good. It was just too easy and just too good.
So we'll draw our attention to next week. Harcourt will take on Trentham, which will be our broadcast game in the MCDFNL. Interesting to see what the final score is out there at the Carisbrook game, as Castlemaine here might get one on the board through Johnny Watson, who's been serviceable this afternoon. He's battled hard. He got that footy on 49 metres and then just drilled it with a long kick home. So a little bit of a shining light with only a few minutes in the game remaining. That's his 3rd of the afternoon. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Castlemaine 7-7-49 to Eaglehawk 23-5-143. At the conclusion of this game, Norm Jenkin will join us and give us his thoughts on this game, and he will be contributing by picking the best player, the Sponsors Award, $100 voucher from Bendigo City Framer. So looking forward to Norm's thoughts with that. Live 25 local fresh footy.
Back in the middle. We're in the last minutes of this round 6 clash. Ball is thrown up. It's knocked down in the ruck contest by Ethan Hanley, who's giving Braden Frost a bit of a chop out. Hunter Staples to half forward with the kick. Good work by Brodie Byrne. Goes to the blue booted Jack, or Tyson Hickey, I should say. Very close to the boundary line. Brodie Byrne there too. We'll need to have a ball up. It's cooling down here at the Camp Reserve. Johnny, though, you've thought of everything, even a heater up here in the truck.
I'm not sharing it either, Father Jackson either.
Fair enough.
As the ball, it will be another stoppage. As Bolter grabbed it out of the air, and he was tackled well there for Eaglehawk by Ethan Hanley. So 70 from goal, Castlemaine. We're right in front of our broadcast truck. The Little Red Apple, our sponsors this afternoon for the truck in our commentary position, as Hanley gets a free kick. This is Ethan. He'll play on. He'll give it by hand. That was okay to Jonat. Donut goes into the middle. It's an aggressive kick. Bounces off the chest of Reece Jenkins of Castlemaine. Wins the footy. Retreats. Gives it there to Franklin of Castlemaine. He'll go forward. Brody Byrne hit the pack. Couldn't quite win it. Cal Huntley's in the area. He'll use his body to offer support to John Franklin. Franklin looking for his... Johnny Watson, rather, looking for his next goal. It goes for a minor score. John Franklin doesn't even play footy anymore. 143 playing 50. Eaglehawk lead. I'm cooked in this game as well, Sean Smith. Don't worry about that.
It's a huge lead. It could be the first 100-point plus win in the league this season. I'll have to check my notes. No, there's been a few others, but I'll have a look nevertheless. As the kick from Donat off the right boot goes toward the defensive side of centre wing for the Borough, but the Magpies send it back inside 50, not for long, and it's been chopped off by Aidan Hanley at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Sandhurst within just 12 points now of Gisborne. 11-6 plays 8 goals 12, so the Dragons not giving in at the home of country footy, and not giving in here is Cal Huntley, who has intercepted the clearing kick from Ty Evans.
Write it in the book.
With himself.
Write it in the book, Father Jackson.
Well, it's an audacious prediction. I'm reluctant to do so. I think I'll hedge my bets just for the moment,
No,
Johnny.
kick it. It'll go through goal point post.
I'm a man of little faith.
Yeah.
Anyway, perhaps we should put a beer on it, Johnny, and we'll see.
You get your red wine for free, so that's not fair, Father Jackson.
So here's a chance for Callan Huntley. This afternoon, he's kicked 2 goals. This for his third. It's going. It's long. It's to the right-hand side and just to behind.
He made the distance, though.
And lucky I get wine for free, Johnny.
That's exactly right, as Donut kicks it in to Ango for Eaglehawk. Oh, coughed it up to Cal Huntley. You watch this. He's going to kick a goal here. Has a bounce. Tight angle. And he misses. Come on, Cal. I was going to go off my nut then. As it is 7-10-52. Castlemaine, Eaglehawk 23-5, 143. Live 25, local fresh footy.
Getting a bit peckish. I'm thinking about the fruitcake I've packed and other things too. Reminds me of a saying. Every football club's like a good fruitcake, not complete without a few nuts. Anyway, you could apply that to any organisation, I think, Johnny.
Leave the funny stuff to the funny people, Jackson.
That's true. Well, we're getting a bit desperate here, aren't we? Stoppage. We're in the dying minutes here at Camp Reserve. Ball's thrown up. It's Ethan Hanley. Getting to it, though, is Castlemaine's Jack Chester. He dances and weaves as if he's rehearsing for the social room function to follow, but he's missed and kicked to the left-hand side. So 90 points the lead now to Eaglehawk.
They're very, very good, Eaglehawk. Premiership favourites in my book. I'm going to call it early, Jackson. I want you to bookmark this point in time. They will win the flag. As Langford gets the ball from fullback, they're sharing it around now in the back half. They've just got total control and they're playing with confidence. Jack Donat again. He must be a contender for the $100 voucher, the sponsorships, the Bendigo City Framer voucher. Get along and check out what they've got there. They've been a fantastic sponsor for the second year in a row. We give away a prize every week and every game. A $100 voucher to Bendigo City Framers will go to the Best Player Sponsorship Award this afternoon. Ango with the footy for Eaglehawk. Series of handballs and then ended up kicking it up to the wing. They'll get a free kick, I reckon, here on half-back, and they will, and look to build again.
They do indeed through Jack Thompson. As per your request, Johnny, I've noted 4:42 p.m. on the 24th of May, 2025. With your premiership prediction, I'm sure that you'll be a popular man at Eaglehawk tonight as the Borough inside 50 work it, not for long. Intercepted by William Moran, combines with Ashton Franklin. Across half-back, the Magpies clear. Patrick Bolter, the intended target, fisted away from him. Ground level, Brody Byrne just got boot to ball. Butterick intercepts. He's tackled, got the hand pass away just. Billy Evans, left ball, inside 50. Dropping the mark he should have taken. Mitchell Ronchetti, he's kicked 3 today for the 2 Blues. Ball into dispute, then out. Spills to Hunter Staples. I like him. He's clearing ball to centre wing is good. Finds Hartley. And now it's off to the Magpies. Tyson Hickey.
Hickey's been involved this afternoon, but they've turned it over here on the wing, the Magpies. Story of the afternoon, but another turnover. Franklin has got it. This afternoon, Castlemaine Football Club honoured his brother who sadly passed away 2 years ago. They're wearing the red armbands this afternoon. But he's been serviceable this afternoon, young Franklin, as Castlemaine will share it around. Fajay Jr. hasn't done enough this afternoon in my eyes. He's one of their contract players. Gave it to Reece Jenkins, who kicked it long. A push. And will Castlemaine get a free kick? Advantage is played. Cal Huntley runs onto it, and it's a tumbling ball. The pressure came from behind, and Cal Huntley slots it through. Didn't win me the beer that time, Cal, but I'll make sure you'll pay me later. As that is his third of the afternoon, is it?
And third of this last term.
He's done well, Cal Huntley, in this final term. Castlemaine 8-11-59. They trail Eaglehawk 23-5, 143. And I'm sure his mum and dad will buy me a beer if he doesn't later on at the function. Bendigo City Frame was our score sponsor this afternoon and also our better player for this afternoon's sponsorship. Live 25 local fresh footy.
Sorry, Sean. I was just about to ask. I think Eaglehawk would be a bit disappointed they've let Castlemaine back into this game a bit in the last term.
You think? 8-11-59.
Well, 5-4 in this last term in favour of the Magpies. So they've actually won this last term in the middle.
I like your optimism, Father Jackson.
Well, you have to look at the brighter side of life at times as Tyson Hickey evades a couple of tacklers, gets it off to Hunter Staples. Ball comes to Ty Evans, and it's gone out of bounds as he's dispossessed. So surely the full-time siren is imminent. Almost 30 minutes gone in this last term, and Cal Huntley's offering us some, not sure of the exact time, Cal, but we see it's 30 minutes gone in this last term. Pardon me having this on-field conversation.
You're just talking to one of the players.
Cal Huntley.
You two just carry on in your own time, will you? That's all right.
Well, I needed to be polite. Don't like to ignore people, Johnny. You're a man of good manners yourself. First time I've had a live on-air conversation with a footballer here at famous Camp Reserve.
I'll come along and I'll interrupt one of your sermons, I think, tomorrow and see how you like it.
Yeah, that would be a challenge. I'd have my hands full, that's for sure. And Jack O'Shaughnessy has it inside 50, 30 metres out from goal.
Final scores are coming through. We'll give them to you as the evening progresses towards 5, just after 5 o'clock. So keep sending the scores in there if you're at games around Central Victoria.
Jack O'Shaughnessy has a shot and misses to the right-hand side and snuck through for a behind. Perhaps Cal Huntley's just hanging out for his beer, Johnny.
Yes, as it's a draw out at the game between the Giants and Newstead. A draw, 36 apiece. The Giants kicked 6-12 to 5-6. So interesting result as Fajay Jr.'s got it on the wing for Castlemaine to half forward to Huntley. Brodie Byrne, kick a goal, son. He goes to the top of the square and Langford runs underneath the footy. Air got held when he went for the ball. Soccers off the ground and puts it through. Touched. Well, there's a bit of conjecture on the boundary line. I reckon the central umpire is going to overrule. There was a goal. It was a goal every day of the week. And the central umpire, well, he should overrule if he's seen it. And it is a goal. Good goal off the ground. I just think it was one of those ones where the goal umpire got it wrong. So, things happen in a footy game. 9-11-65 the main. And they've had a little bit of a heartbeat in this final term. 23-6, 144 Eaglehawk. Albeit, I'll say, it has been in junk time, really. Aussie Disposal score sponsor, Live 25, local fresh footy.
It was an interleague game today too in the Ovens and Murray and Goulburn Valley Football League's clash. And it was Ovens and Murray winning 18 goals, 19, 127 over the Goulburn Valley Football League. 7 goals, 8, 50. So that is an impressive 77-point victory to the O&M. And here at Camp Reserve, an impressive victory by Eaglehawk. 23 goals, 6, 144 to Castlemaine, 9-11-65. Sean Smith, what's your final observation in this massive win for the two Blues this afternoon, their 5th of the season?
Yeah, very impressed with the two Blues. One of the things I take away from the game today is the way they changed the speed of the game. They weren't always flat out. They summed up situations. They didn't always bomb the ball. They lowered their eyes. They ran really well off the half-back line with linked up handballs. and they've got a few options up forward. And like that O'Shannessy, a few others, Holmes, very classy footballers. The Castlemaine, it was pretty hard to coach in the first half. They got a bit of the footy, but they just butchered it and just turned it over and just deflated themselves by doing that and just left it open for Eaglehawk. And yeah, that third quarter was masterful for me by Eaglehawk because they created all their own goals just with brilliant football. Eaglehawk, I'm not quite sure. Obviously, Sandhurst is another side up there as well, but we'll see how you go, Johnny, with Eaglehawk being the grand finalist. Maybe they could be looking for a centre half forward or something as well, Eaglehawk, just to put the final touches on. But great effort, great pressure, and good game by Eaglehawk. Castlemaine just have to have a bit of a look.
We have some final scores coming through in the Maryborough Castlemaine District Football League. As has already been mentioned, it's a draw between the Maryborough Giants and Newstead, 6-12-36 to Newstead 5-6-36. Carisbrook have defeated Harcourt 12-7-79 to Harcourt 3-9-27. In the Loddon Valley Football League, a massive win to Inglewood, 18 goals 8 to Calible, 4 goals 6. So a huge win there to the Blues. Also, a final score coming through in the game between Mount Pleasant and White Hills. It is the Blues that have won. So Mount Pleasant, 13 goals 9-87 by 20 points over the Demons, 10-7-67. We'll have other scores very shortly across those leagues. If I look at the Bendigo Football League app 2 a short time ago, it was close between Sandhurst and Gisborne at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. That game is still unfolding. It is very close. 8 points the margin in favour of Gisborne. 12-7-79 to Sandhurst. 9-13-67. Golden Square are going to lose by a similar margin to what Castlemaine did here. It's South Bendigo leading 20 goals 13, 133 to Golden Square, 5-10-40 late in that contest. And Strathfield Say 16 goals 20, 116 over Kangaroo Flat, 6-5-41. Any other scores, Norm, that you've got at hand at the moment? A final score, thank you. It's Navarre, 11-6-72 over Malden, 5-5-35. So a 37-point win to the Navarre Grasshoppers in that contest. Norm, you were watching this game this afternoon here at Camp Reserve. What was your key takeaway from what you saw?
Well, today we saw a polished Eaglehawk. They were very confident in what they did. They were sure with their ball handling, and especially through that second quarter.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Kaiser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Kaiser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Kaiser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
It's the Bendigo Football Netball League top 5 for round 5. Let's kick things off with a nice hanger. Let's look for Zach Shelton here from Golden Square. He's up and away. Number 2, Michael Romero from Strathfield Say at the back of the pack, falls in his lap. How about that? Number 3, Sam Heaviside here. Got it out the pack and went with the left foot snap. Gets the kind bounce and it goes through. Number 4, the coach's dream, the front and centre goal. Clayton Holmes from Eaglehawk, just sitting at the front of the pack. The big snap. Oh yes, good finish. Number 5, another example of a great front and centre. Tommy Turner, Golden Square, mops it up, says thank you very much.
and he gets $1,000, $100 voucher.
He
I don't
wishes.
think Bendigo
Thanks
Framers
to our
would be
sponsor.
happy for me.